learn how to read the map. Let's go.
Good evening, Patriots. I'm going to read y'all tonight's Jesus Calling for June 5th. Remember that you live in a fallen world, an abnormal world tainted by sin. Much frustration and failure result from your seeking perfection in this life. There is nothing perfect in this world except me. That is why closeness to me satisfies deep yearnings and fills you with joy. I have planted longing for perfection in every human heart. This is a good desire, which I alone can fulfill. But most people seek this fulfillment in other people in earthly pleasures or achievements. Thus they create idols before which they bow down. I will have no other gods before me. Make me the deepest desire of your heart. Let me fulfill your yearning for perfection. Amen.
Amen. Amen. God wins, brother. Thank you. Thank you for doing that, Brother Delta. Thank you. Thank you. And now what I want to do is I want to bring on Sister Kellyanne, because a lot of you don't know this, but Kellyanne is a true blue, hard-fighting patriot. She's new into politics too. She can tell a little bit about her story. She's in Pennsylvania. She was the one that orchestrated this invitation, and that's how we work together. This is how we jive, you guys. Everybody works together, and I just want to give a big loving shout out to Kellyanne. Kellyanne, please come on and say hi to the gang and tell us how excited you are and what you did to meet Mr. Smith and invite him into this beautiful project that we have.
Well, first I just want to say thank you for Qagg for saying yes for this chat. I am definitely blessed. We use your site all the time. It really does have the best research tools out of all the sites. And when it was down for that short amount of time, I was really bummed. And then when it came back up, I had to relearn it. But thank you so much for coming here tonight. And yeah, I mean, I just randomly asked him. It was just a random thought. And he was so quick to say yes. Such an awesome patriot. And thank you, Tim, for those kind words. I am fighting the fight. I actually have my first meeting in a couple of weeks to vote out all the rhinos here in Bucks County. I did a one-man Trump rally here in Quakertown, and a lot of good feedback. So I'm just honored and proud that God called me for this time, such as now.
Amen, sister, man, you're choking up. I love it. I love it. I just want to wrap my arms around you, give you the biggest, warmest hug ever. I mean, we've gotten to know each other over the years, and you've done so much. And now you're actually a committee woman, fighting the fight, politically speaking, in your area, which is something that our favorite general, the People's General Flynn, has always asked us to do, and that is, fight at your local level. Local actions make national impact. So congratulations to all your success, and we're all behind you. And we love and appreciate everything you do. And I just want to let you guys know, I'm up here in Canada, but I'm looking at the bottom of my computer screen, and it says it's, believe it or not, there's no coincidence, right? It's 17 degrees Celsius and light rain right now.
Nice.
Let's go.
Let's go. I just want to throw that out there. So listen, without any further ado, let's bring on our special guest tonight. I'm so freaking excited, man. I'm on cloud 17, and I can't wait to get to know Mr. Smith, the owner-operator and designer of Qagg.news. Mr. Smith, come on and say hello, my friend.
Well, good evening, everyone. I apologize for my voice. I was actually sleeping the past 30 hours. I'm still a bit sick, but I'm getting over it thanks to ivermectin. What else do you want me to say at this point, Tim? It's your show.
Okay, well, you know what we'd like to do? We're not going to do any doxing stuff here, but listen, we are totally 117% into everything that you've provided for us as a tool, the Qagg.news tool, right? The third aggregator, we call it. And we just want to know maybe a little bit of your history without giving too much away, because we understand being anonymous in this movement is very important, especially as we're all being attacked. So maybe share with us whatever you would like to share with us, how it started, where it began, Did you, how the idea came about, and just get us to know you a little bit better so we could even spread more and share more love with you, my friend.
My soon-to-be former wife brought Q to me middle of the year, and it's the second I saw it, I'm like, that's real. I mean, there wasn't even a question in my mind. And I started watching a lot of shows, and what particularly fascinated me were the shows where people were doing decodes. And the idea was born from watching all these original decoders, because I could see how much time they were spending calculating timestamps, going and finding this message, that message, finding Trump, finding Scavino. So that was really the genesis of the idea, was probably like around the time of Kavanaugh in 2018. I didn't start building it till 2019. And ironically, this is about the time the media was saying, telling people learn to code. So ironically, I actually learned to code to write my site. It's kind of ironic for me. They're saying learn to code, and here I go, learn to code. That'll teach them. So, 2019, I get the site rolling. And just as a reference point, I've probably got somewhere around 4,000 or 5,000 hours into it. I've lost count after like 3,000. I put in, you talk about a compulsion or feeling compelled to do something. This was an absolute couldn't not do it type scenario. So I built it, got it running. In 2020 is when I actually added the tweets. I finally figured out how to do that. Got them added in because I thought, well, it's going to be valuable to have all the timestamps for all that stuff. And I added Trump and Scavino and a million other people. And I just kept going. And for your reference, the reason QMap disappeared is he was doxxed. He was doxxed in the summer of 2020. That's why he went away. So let me think here. If we fast forward to December 22nd, 2022, that's when I was actually deplatformed. By a guy who didn't deplatform anybody. I mean, he had some apparently terrible sites running on his platform. But I got deplatformed, and I gave it a few months before trying to come back. And for those of you that remember, I did try to come back in March of 2023. I put a clock up and a countdown, and little did I know that was going to start lining up with everything. Not my fault. Somebody gave me that number. I just thought it was picking a random number out of the hat. The day my clock hit 0 the first time was the day Trump got indicted. That's not my doing. And I don't know any Q team members. I have to also give that disclaimer now. Don't know Q team members. If I've met one, I don't know it. But anyway, so you fast forward to the end of 2023. Ironically, me getting a divorce and getting back in touch with all my OG Anon friends is what got me to get the platform back. A friend of mine actually bought the domain back at great expense. And I was able to get back online. And I mean, like everything you see, every functionality, every bit of capability in there is literally built from watching Anon's dig. So, did I have an original idea? Maybe assembling the site, yes. But as far as the functionality in there goes, no, it's all built on everything I've seen y'all do. One other fun story is, for those of you that know, True Social went beta, I think it was February 9th or February 10th, 2022. And I was debating whether or not to sign up. And I finally actually sent my email the Sunday, like literally the day before they were going live. And by like 12:05 midnight Sunday, I'd already had my acceptance letter. And I'm like, well, that's interesting. So I spent the entire day Monday looking at the app and literally reverse engineering it. And by Tuesday, I was actually scraping True Social. I had people on 8kun doubting I was actually scraping True Social until other people were coming and reporting it. So, I mean, I guess you could say that's how obsessed I am. And I am planning on trying to get TikTok in this weekend as soon as I find time, because I think I know how to do it. So that's pretty much my story. Can't think of anything else. Well, actually, I was doxxed December of this year by somebody you worked for, Tim, actually. I won't bring the name up. But that's another matter. So technically my name is out there, but I still have a job, so I don't push it.
Oh, I'm sad to hear that. Maybe send me a DM in the background. I always like to know, because, like, obviously coming on here tonight, I said that specifically. This is not about doxing or anything. I don't want anybody being doxed, especially someone at the level of information that you're putting out there, and all the hard work. And I mean, the whole world is watching QA.news. So Definitely.
Sometimes Rosebot hits it too.
What's that?
I was saying sometimes the Rosebot, if they don't click the thing like sometimes once or twice, then it'll remove them. Or if they post a few things too.
Oh, I don't think I think he's talking about actual doxing, like putting.
Yes. Somebody
Yes.
actually doxed me on Twitter.
Yeah, I have an idea. We'll see.
Okay, well, if you know anything about that, Kyle, we need to talk about that. We definitely don't want to do that, sir. That's definitely not our intention here. We want to learn more from like this valuable tool that you put together. Obviously, a little bit about yourself. We don't need to know a whole lot because I mean that's part of the doxing fine lines that we've always discussed as anons. Anons know this. A lot of the just regular patriots out there don't have a clue or an idea how serious that is when you actually start spreading names or sharing names or phone numbers or whatever address, whatever it is. That's just called plain and simple. That's doxing, right? And our enemy is looking for any kind of information that they can sink their claws and teeth into. So I apologize to you, sir. If and we'll bite that one in the ass ASAP. Just so you know.
No, I actually still have my job, so don't worry about it. I mean, like nothing happened to me. Ironically, I guess you could call it a mirror tweet from Dan Scavino off the second thread I did about it. If you all remember the flamethrower from Dan Scavino, like a couple hours prior is when I had opened a thread saying flamethrower time. So I mean, the odds of that, I mean, to me, no coincidence is the standard phrase. It seemed kind of unusual for him to post that.
Boom! That's a boom. Love it.
Yeah, we're trying to dox Q.
So I actually have a question for you, Qagg. So just because when your sites went down, I got so used to Q alerts, and I'm currently trying to get used to searching timestamps. So when I search a timestamp, even if I do regular time, say like 5:55, I'm just going to use that, or 7:17, I'll get more results with like 7:17, but like how do I get like only that timestamp? Like I don't want to get like the minutes and the seconds. I want the hour and the minutes.
If you want specific, you have to go into help because there's a very specific search criteria embedded into the system. So if you scroll down here, you'll see this bracket stuff. Okay, I'm not going to get into the details of it, but if you want to be very exacting on what you're seeking, that's the way you do it right there. And as you can see, I also have clock stuff embedded in there if you're one of the clock people.
Let me actually just show one for this. A special moment when Q had been gone for 500 some odd days, and that's just a testament to the information and the movement. Tim and I and everyone else, and I kind of had the epiphany later that it was designed that way as well too. Q went away just like Trump went away, which killed basically the media because they had created this beast and everybody was hungry for more or whatever about Trump, and then he just steps aside and they have nothing left. Same thing, Q left, and it was very interesting, and I kind of got the information that actually it did the same thing. All the fake patriots that joined the movement for fame or money and not about the information and the movement fell by the wayside. There was no more new posts, but the information's so in-depth and intricate. Tim and I and all of us could continue to dig in and always find something new. And that's when we started seeing the Q posts for quantum, where we're looking at a post from 2018 and it was more relevant to today, which would be like 2022 than it was to even back then. So if anyone doesn't remember, that was a special day when Q came back June 24th. I believe it was June 22nd. Let me just show you how this works with the time and date thing real quick. And then there's just so many amazing options. Again, it would actually kind of cool if, we could make our own tutorial or maybe have you one day, just because I said, I would use a ton of stuff, but really I probably, like I say, only use maybe 5% of all this stuff. So as we see here, working towards the end here, the last drop was December 8th, 2020. 1755, who's paying attention. And this was, we're not going to take it anymore. And we'd already seen all this evidence about the election fraud. So we thought, this was it. And it's so beautiful to see how magical and divinely planned this plan is, because, even in 2018, early on, Anons were like, okay, this is it, and then, 2020, and then we're like, oh my gosh, this is it, we're celebrating, no chance in hell. But when you look back now, how much information and how connected we've done, what we've done in the last 4 years is unprecedented. And also think of yourself individually, how much you maybe have grown through all that. We always think we're ready, we're not, we had to go through this meat grinder of growth and also this evolution. But a testament to the Q information is that we are still here, because when you're examining truth, the deeper you examine it, the more the truth becomes solidified. If you're looking at something that's not truth and you dig into it more, it starts to unravel very quickly. So if this was just some kid in his basement, which is even an absurd statement when you dig into these posts, how intricate and the depth of these Q drops is, that's just absurd. But when you dig into them, you can just keep going farther and farther and farther, and it's just a testament to the truth in that information. So I thought I was going to say something about that, but let me just show this big jump here. December 8th, 2020, and I can't even remember how many days it was now. I want to say like 500 something. Actually, it's very important because we showed that right live when Q came back on this date. But here's something really cool in particular to show how amazing this whole thing was. When I think it's this one, so I'll do this date stamp here, 21/26/19, okay, is when Q made this drop. I think I can copy that, but let me just show again where you guys can find, like he was mentioning, you got to just kind of play around a little bit, but it's all here. So you hit this little question mark, which is the help, general help, and it really explains it, because again, I'm not the most computer tech savvy guy. I feel like Mr. Smith here designed it kind of like, if you were used to the chants, but so it takes a little practice, but after you learn how to use it, then it can be really powerful, because you can look for exact, very specific things. And I found some really interesting connections with that. So in particular, if you want a date, or excuse me, a Q post with a certain time, you have to use this bracket. Actually, what is this one? It's slightly different than the bracket, like a kill box bracket. I'm not sure what that one's called, but then the T space and this. So I'm just going to do that right now and put it in here. So T, and then if I can remember how to do it. It's been a while. Used to do it. So I'll put it right here. Put the that bracket with the T, and then should be able to copy paste. There we go. I think I can just close it and then enter. And this is when you see special things, okay? And this is when you get the goosebumps, the God bumps, is Q had gone. I guess we should look at how many days.
We call that brackets and jackets. We called that
one brackets and jackets. Oh, yeah, we called that one the jacket, because it's not a bracket. So this is the jacket. So yeah, put the timestamp and the date stamp in the jacket. And again, just hit the question mark here to get the help function. It'll show you how to use all that. But look at this special thing, is Q had came back 6/24, which is also the date of the R post several years prior. But after this long sustained absence, this was the day that Roe versus Wade was overturned. Shall we play a game again? And the connections we found from how many days it was, months, minutes, it was a spectacular day. But then as the information's coming in, we're all excited. We were going to start a regular Q school that day, and we actually were a little late. We were kind of just hanging out. And then somebody comes on and is like, Q post again. We're like, well, get out of here. No way. Like, we didn't even think about it. And then it was epic. And then people started sharing the information. They're like, oh, my God. Someone says, show the timestamp. So this timestamp of 21/26/19, 4,960 some odd posts. And this exact timestamp, when you search it right in here, there was only one other drop. And the one other drop with that exact timestamp, 21/26/19, is this right here, the day Roe v. Wade is overturned, Q comes back, and this is the only other drop out of nearly 5,000 posts with that exact timestamp with the baby right here on it, and it says last spread. Go ahead.
Also, 10/28/2017. It was 1,700 days from the first Q drop to 6/24/2022.
Yes, thank you. Keep going. There were so many epic things with that, and I wasn't planning on talking about this, so we can show that. We have the live recording. I'll have to find that too. But yeah, go ahead. And if you want to add anything else, maybe I'll just do that while we're here, just to show that, just how special this moment was. Again, the only other drop of all of them, and there's just this happens to be this image right in here, which, by the way, as I've discovered and try to teach more now too, that these quote unquote anons are not necessarily anons like you think they are. There's no accident that this is a baby post. This is not an anon. We're all anons, but it's definitely Q team with this post. So let's see what the rest of it. And even the capital letters, we could dig so much deeper in this. Last spread, if a baby is born alive, doesn't she have automatic entitlement as a human being to life-saving measures? If a baby is born alive, isn't it murder to kill him or her? Why was this bill ever needed? Don't doctors take the Hippocratic oath? No, they're hypocrites. To save lives. POTUS is currently evaluating legal options regarding executive order. Watch the news. How can anyone support such evil? Q. And that was just the start of one of the many things we discovered when Q came back, and then having this functionality to just be able to put that in the search and find it is truly, truly incredible. And again, thank you to you, Mr. Smith. I hate hearing that Mrs. Smith introduced you to the Q post and it's not going to work out. I would save that girl, but no, I'm just kidding. Everything happens for a reason. And thanks for sharing your story, brother.
Now, I just want to point out you're missing a chance to point out like the first feature I added to the site. So if you go up into the digging menu,
okay,
click on show post deltas.
Okay.
Now look at the top of your drops.
See, I've never even used this, so thank you. I love that. And that's what I know I only use probably 5% of this, so go ahead.
So, this, it literally calculates the distance between anything you have on the screen.
Wow.
So if you're looking at, if you're blending Trump and Q, it'll give you deltas between all that. Whatever tweets, whatever truths you have on the screen, it will automatically give you deltas for everything.
Holy shit.
And then there's a show reply delta also, so that if Q is replying to somebody, it'll show you the delta between the Q post and the reply itself.
Wow.
So if you scroll down, now you'll see a reply delta in there. See, delta to reply.
Oh, Tim, check that out. We don't got to do the math no more. We've been doing that.
Like I said, I was watching people. Some of the first diggers I saw, I could see how many hours they were wasting having to do all this math, and I'm like, well, I can save them the time on the math at least.
That's crazy. I can't believe you could do all that. It's so incredible. Even I was showing some of the things while you guys were speaking. This one right here is one that's I really don't think we see anywhere else. Is where the hell do I go? This one is he hit the chess piece right here to get the players on the board, and he's got them all listed. President Trump, and I'm assuming these are your kind of takes on this. And I mentioned that
actually these came from QMap.
Oh, QMap, yeah, because they would label stuff. I got you.
Yes.
Okay.
QMap built this list. Thanks to several anons who happened to save all the data, I was able to reconstruct it.
And that's one thing one of the most important things I want to add, because Tim and I we were using Qagg almost entirely. The one difference I tell people, and I think it's good to have them different, and especially, but I also think you guys could combine some of your forces and stuff so that, we also have each other's backs. But so Q alerts, let's say, for instance, I like Qagg, especially because we really get this is where we saw the connections with the posts and how many drops there actually are. So, for instance, we'll just do one simple like the storm, which is happening right now. The storm, exactly, when you search that in here, exactly 17 drops. And now the way that Qagg does this number here is either Q made that post, that term, or Q replied directly to it. So this is what it's supposed to be for the direct connection. It's either Q made the post or replied directly to it. But let's just try the storm. If you go to Q alerts, it's slightly different. Yeah, because the reason that is, like I'm saying, you'll see right here, let's just try the storm, is because they'll go farther with the conversation between the anons, more embedded. Like, here's a great example. This one right here. So
he goes 3 layers deep.
Yes. Yeah. Or it even goes more sometimes in this instance. So Q in this one is replying to this right here, and then you wouldn't see this right here on Qagg. Right. So I'm just showing people the differences. So let's see, the storm comes up with 20 posts right here. Check this out too, Mr. Smith, is this was cool connecting with different patriots, is I like the way your Qagg works so well that as soon as you search it, boom, right here, no question, you can see how many drops there are. And of course, 17 drops with the storm.
Now, I'm going to point out another function for you here. If you go up into the digging menu, and on the bottom half, drops without replies. Click that
Okay.
button. Now it's showing
Wow.
you only Q posts directly.
Okay. Nice.
So you can be specific. You can search only the drops without replies or only the drops with replies if you want. Or there's another option in there for only drops with images.
Yes, and we use that one sometimes to find stuff. Where's that one at? Drops with images right here.
Yep.
Okay, so now with the storm there was 0, but that's just a great example of some tools that I have used that one, but I have really, Tim, I don't think we've ever used any of the other ones. So this is cool to learn that.
Yeah, that's why we're here. That's why we're learning. Yeah, go ahead, Kelly.
Sorry, I just have to say, like, one of my favorite tools is that we can actually search Truth Social and Twitter, so we can look up like deleted Trump posts or even current Trump posts or even Scavino, Cash. Like that is one of my favorite features.
Yeah, just so
I
you're
agree
aware,
because I know
the Trump Twitter archive that I have is actually more accurate than the one that's labeled TrumpTwitterArchive.com. He changed the way he gathered them, and I didn't. So I got them real time. So I think it's like 118 more or something like that than he does.
Wow.
And to my knowledge, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, to my knowledge, there's only one.
118.
Yeah, well, like I said, that's going off from memory. It's been a while since I looked. But there's only like one tweet I'm pretty sure I'm missing out of all of Trump's. And one of my comms guys tells me if I could find that tweet, he could prove that was the go code for the Q operation to start. So there's probably a reason I can't find
it.
Wow.
Nice. Okay, so and now let me show this. Go ahead. Who's that? Okay.
That was Chuki. Oh, that's Chuki. Okay, go ahead, Chuki.
I was just wondering if you collected all the Il Donaldo Trumpo ones because he's been on there the whole time.
Yeah, he's got all that, right?
I started collecting him late, only because my son told me that's Trump. I mean, my son's not into Q at all, and my ex and I were arguing about it one day, and he happened to walk out in the garage, and she handed him the tablet. He looked at it 10 seconds. He says, that's Trump. So I'm like, all right. And if my son can see it, all right.
That's interesting. So let me just finish my thoughts here. And Adam, by the way, when you tell somebody go ahead, doesn't mean that then you go ahead. But, I love you, brother. So check this out, though. This was interesting. No, I'm just teasing you, bro. So I love how Qagg has the search, the term, it's highlighted, and then you see the drops. So we were going keywords a little bit. It might have been maybe even around the time, actually, I think is when Qagg went down. What was that date you said, the March one? It was probably around that time then, because we actually, and it made us learn, it made us get better, and we see the ins and outs. So, but interesting thing here is you search on Q alerts, you search this term, now you see right here, it's not about me, it's about the movement. This wasn't like this. You actually had to scroll all the way to the bottom before it would show you how many drops were in there on Q alerts. So if you search something, you don't know if there's 500 posts or not. You had no idea. You had to scroll all the way to the bottom. So I actually reached out to them on, I think it was Truth Social or I think it was Truth Social or Twitter, and Q alerts was on there. And I'm not sure if you have a social page at all, Mr. Smith, with that. And I want to even make sure we mention too about funding for you as well too, because I want to make sure that we can all help each other. But anyways, I told them, and within a short amount of time, now Q alerts, because I said, Qagg, this doesn't make sense to have it at the bottom. You need to put it at the top so that when you search the term, you know what you're dealing with. So then sure enough, now theirs is at the top, which again is a testament to how well designed your site was, that when it wasn't there, I was like, man, you guys got to figure out how to put this at the top so we don't got to scroll to the bottom. So that was just some of the cool things in the movement, trying to connect. Now, another one before I forget, since you were mentioning it, is qpost.online, which is now down. Are you familiar with them at all? Have you ever?
Yes. As I understand it, it was a life thing, from what I've heard, just a life situation.
Okay. So if you're familiar with them at all, the most important thing we need to figure out how to acquire from there, and Tim and I would go there basically almost strictly for this, is they had a link to all of the original links of the Q posts. Let's say also all the Twitters that are gone. If people lost their account, and you try to click
Okay.
on a tweet,
Stop.
it's gone. They have all archived. Yeah, go ahead.
Stop. Go back. Scroll up to the top left drop that you had there.
Okay,
See the
yeah,
little.
this one, right?
Is that a Twitter link? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
See the little file box next to it?
Oh, that's archived right there.
That's archived.
That's always been there, or no? Is that new? That looks
No,
new to me.
that I put in. I think I put that in last year.
Okay. Wow, that's awesome. So you have all of them?
I have all of the tweets. Yes.
Oh my gosh, bro. Awesome. So it's already there. We didn't
It's
even know
already
it.
there.
Nice.
Now, one other thing I want to bring up, because you're just talking about seeing the context around some of what was going on, with some of the drops.
Right.
One thing I'm a very big fan of, and it's the reason I created a drop 0, is because Q wasn't replying to some random person. Q was replying to Q. Right. So in the top left, well, sort of the top left of every drop, you'll see that blue link, and it's got, like the title of the board and the specific was on.
Yeah.
So if you click that, you'll get to the archives.
Right. And now 8chan, are the 8chan ones, is that 8chan's down? I know I can go into 4chan, but I feel like, is that because 8chan's just gone? Is that what that is? Or how's that work?
No, I actually redirected. Most of the old Brads are still there. The only ones that are missing are like the Patriots fight, and there was like 1 or 2 other Q private boards that are gone. Otherwise, almost all of them are still universally there.
Okay. Yeah. And I find this very interesting because you certainly see I love that you have these numbers. It's even got to the point when I get a little autistic doing Q school, I like to even read these numbers for our special friends who might see something in here. I feel like I even say that you're not there. The truth is in here. And I feel like there's a deep decode with the numbers. There's no randomness to it. It's all on purpose and an intention. So you'll see these big numbers here, but as you guys will go, let me just flip it to kind of show what it looks like. Like for instance, let's see, 8kun. So now it's on 8kun on the Q research board. And then there's these big numbers, but every now and then it'll be like a Patriot fight, and it's a small number because it's Q is posting on different boards. And that for me, I can't explain that because I don't know the chans well enough. But there's definitely some correlations, and I love that you have that there, and it's easy for people to see. And what's this? The ID number, and then what's the color coding? I see there's some different colors. Can you explain that?
The ID is the device ID that shows up on the chan. So whenever you post, what happens is your ID is a combination of various factors and your IP address that you're posting from. So it basically crumbles that all up, and out comes the device ID.
Okay.
And as for the color coding, because the device IDs are hexadecimal in nature, all I'm doing is I'm literally using HTML or CSS, the CSS color scheme, so that the background of the particular ID is the color of that ID in hex.
Okay, some of that's a little bit over my head, but thank you. And then so this means that if there's a different ID number, does that mean all these are different devices, or what does that mean?
We don't know. I mean,
Okay.
Some of them could be the same devices. A lot of times they were different devices.
Okay.
We don't know for sure, because how could we?
Okay, I got you. So let me even show one too, because actually it just came up. I think even last night we were looking at it, and there's one in particular. And I'm getting on the cusp of like trying to crack some of this right here. Here we go. And on Catch It All, let's just show this whole post with the 0 delta, which you have that on there too, which is amazing. The 0. I was just looking at that when we first came in here. In fact, yeah, look at this. No, truth, is that the one I want? No, right here. The 0 deltas. So I clicked here. Is that Tim and I, when we talk about deltas, we're usually talking about like a post from the same date, but the other kind of delta is delta is change in time. So a 0 delta would be a Q post, then the two he's got here is POTUS and Scavino. I've never really looked at the Scavino ones. That is a 0 delta, meaning Q posted, which is always first, and then less than a minute later, the President of the United States tweeted, which showed clearly a connection and between the two and the indication. So you can see this, and I've never gone through this. So as you can see, just by this beautiful search feature, you can see that the very first 0 delta was Q post 448, December 23rd, 2 days after the executive order against human trafficking and other things like that. Go ahead.
Yep.
And then 15,
I'm just
29.
agreeing with you, yeah.
Okay, you're disagreeing. All right, well, that's fine. Let's clear that.
No,
Let me
I'm
just finish that.
just agreeing, not disagreeing.
Oh,
I'm just agreeing.
I got you. Okay. So as you guys can see, 15, 29, 24, Trump tweets 15, 30, 06. So what's that math? 42 seconds later, who's 42? Bill Clinton. 42 seconds later. Oh, I should be able to do can I do the timestamp between these two with that?
Yes, you can. It works on everything.
So digging, and which one then? Deltas?
Show post deltas, yes.
Now this is cool. And then I got to save it or no? Or
Nope.
It should be in there? Okay.
No, why didn't it turn on? I don't know.
It's kind of strange. It didn't do that with maybe.
Interesting.
Because
that might be a bug.
Could be. I found one too. I don't know if I'd be able to remember it because one function I do really like, and I saw some interesting connections. Let me open one up here and just clear everything out and show you. Let me make sure I got everything turned off just for a second. So yeah, the replies came up there. Let me just hold off. I don't want to distract myself. Is the and function. Okay, guys. So you go to search here. This was a really unique one. And I started using it a little bit more. I wish I kind of did more because I would just kind of intuitively get a search. So here's some different general search things. Okay, guys. And it's all explained here. So separate keywords with I don't know what that thing's called. It's a slash. It looks like it's a shift above return usually is like the above the backslash thing. It acts as an or. Okay, that's kind of standard search things, right? So search for the phrase XY, like the storm, okay, or search the and then a bar storm. You'll find all the posts with either the or storm. Obviously, there'd be a lot of those. This one I really like. I'd use this one quite a bit. Is search with drops with both of them. Okay, so is both those words, so drops that have the and storm in there. I saw some really interesting connections, and obviously it's changed over time, but let me just show one that there's some drops about SS. Okay, it's like, what is SS? And so I did SS and protect one day, and see, it's still up there in my search thing too. Now there's been an extra drop since when Q came back in 2022. I think this is the one with, this is a DNA, protect your DNA. SS is in there. But when I searched it at the time, so for a very long time, for all that period before 2022 of November, if you did SS and protect, it was 119 drops or 9/11 mirrored. And I was already on, I did SS protect, particularly to look at Hillary Clinton, and it happened to be 9/11 mirrored. And of course, we know it seems like she was arrested on September 11th, 2016. So this is a really cool function as well. Let me search one more search for everybody with this one. It's like, let's say key and stone. And now we won't have keystone, but this will help us find some of those other drops because let's see, some of those are tweets, but in particular, so we got that one, but I know that there's one written where it's like they're stacked on top of each other. So you wouldn't recognize that as a keystone post if you didn't search it that one. Like right here. So this is an anon, clearly Q right here. Military intelligence, no such agency equals Q. POTUS and Patriots equals stone. Now, I'm almost certain Q posted that somewhere, so we'll probably see that in just a second. But this would be a keystone post, and you wouldn't see it if you had only searched keystone. So this functionality is incredible, and it really helps connect dots that otherwise we wouldn't be able to do. So I've always loved that.
Let me give you another search tip here. We're going to do that same keystone, but we're going to do one extra thing to clean up some of the noise. So go back up to the top.
Okay.
So you see that box that says WWS?
Where we're at?
Right next to the search box.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right here? Yep.
Check that box.
Okay.
And now do your key and stone.
Oh, okay. Okay, so what did this do now?
What that does is it restricts the search to whole words only, so it won't find something in the middle of a sentence or a link.
Okay.
I love that function.
Yeah, so that's really cool. Although I will add that even though there's terms, I'm trying to think of a good one. Oh, how about this? So I'm going to leave it off of whole word search because check this out. When you search cult, okay, search cult and we get 45 drops because we're cult 45. Oh, who loves that shit? But many of these will be difficult, right? Difficult. But that's where you also see that there's clearly a connection here, though. So I love that function, but I do just want to add, we are dealing with a supercomputer, this Aladdin technology that's more advanced than we can even comprehend. There's no accident if it's even a partial word. I would even say there's no accident if it's linked with the tweets, just like how I was showing Key and Stone, and we had some of those posts come up with those Twitter accounts. That, like right here, we have Stonewall, okay, some Twitter account. When these accounts are brought down, you know, there's no accident in these. The supercomputer would, or quantum computer would definitely know that this is in here. So in my opinion, there would still be some connection, but I love that function. So in case anybody didn't miss it, like this stone is in the middle of this word here. So at the very top of the search, we click this, and I love that too, that how it pops up what it is, whole word search. So you click that. I just love that, the fact that that's there, because I can tell you, let's say, for instance, and I'll show you real quick. I'll just go to the one site. I'm not to knock anybody. I appreciate that we've had these other sources, but QAnon.pub, been here forever. Okay, yep. Super generic search thing. This one, I just almost couldn't use it. I mean, sometimes out of necessity we had to, but like this thing, I hover over it. It doesn't tell me what it is. Oh, now it's finally doing that. It never did that before. I hover over these, and they didn't know what was what. This actually must be a recent change, because I didn't know anything these did. It was very confusing. So I just want to add how much I like that. It's cool that I hover over and the help, and it's very easy. And I mean, it takes a little practice, like I said, but if you work at it, you can search anything you want.
I once had a friend. I look at my site because he's a UI designer. I had him look at it and just ask for advice. He's like, getting into this, looking at your site is like getting into a fighter jet.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. It really is.
It's not for the timid, and not to knock newbies, but I didn't design the site for the new people. Right. I designed it for the hardcore diggers, which should be obvious at this point.
100%. And that's what I've said. It's like, I don't know if you were on the Chan's radar or you're a coder, obviously, so I've always said that, and that's what I like. But, anybody that wants to learn, it's there, though. And just like we talk about this, learning the Q post, it's not going to happen overnight. You have to make the commitment, and you got to keep reading the drops and whatnot. Tim, I gotta take care of something just for a minute. So if you want to do it, I'll be right back.
So I actually would like to jump in. I'm sure there are a few people here that are like new to our movement, because we just getting, like, it just seems like in the last couple of months we have been getting a lot of newer people. So I would like to open up the chat for someone who is not familiar with the drops, because I feel like we're going in like an advanced mode. And if there's anyone here that has any questions on like basic searches, I would love to open up the floor for the ones who just joined Q and would like to learn how to search drops and all the basic searches.
Thank you for adding that, Kellyanne. In fact, that's even kind of how Q School originally had started, or it is. I mean, the idea is I've been, reading the Q drop since, I would say, November, December of 2017, and just kind of was on my own. And then in 2020, when all this stuff happened and everybody's home, and then I started finally sharing information I knew, like on Instagram and these other platforms, and so many people would like ask these questions, like, and they were good questions. They legitimately wanted to know. And I was like, man, where do I even start here? We're on like 4,000 drops in. How am I going to even start explaining this to the people? Right. That's how I had the idea. I'm like, maybe we could have like a Zoom call and have 4 or 5 guys that know the post really well, and then open up the questions. And that was before Telegram voice chat was a thing. And then, fast forward to 2021, and I ran into Tim, and he started the thing that I was thinking of, and it was a beautiful coming together. But still today, I have lots of people asking, and I encourage all you guys, again, be good stewards of information, be open to helping. When one asks, help them, right? Assist them. Now, certainly there's a certain level of they need to do things on their own, but when it's those basic questions, we really need to help them. And people always ask, where's the Q drops? Where do we get them at? And then that's again.
Yeah. So, hi. Yeah. So that's what we're trying to do right now with. So for those, we have 75 beautiful patriots in here right now. Maybe they don't understand what's going on and what we're talking about. And So that's what we can do with our special guest, John Smith, is explain why we brought him in, and then from there get questions on how people can maneuver through the Qagg and with the Q posts, and if anybody has any questions. So there's been a lot of information fed right now, and we've got a lot of new people in here. So
exactly, Zena. Like, it's like people who are new here. It's like the whole start of it is like we look at timestamps from like Trump, Gavino, Flynn, and then we also look at the like video times, and that's where it kind of snowballs. And then you start looking at timestamps and like caps and misspelled words. So maybe like we could talk about the basics, because this is our whole reason is to teach everyone who is new to this movement and wants to learn how to research the drops.
Well, I mean, the first advice I would give if you're new to this all is click the sort button on any of the Q sites and read everything from the beginning. Okay, and stop and ask for questions as you start going through it, because you'll stumble upon those things like Q said, misspellings matter. And then Q would misspell, and he'd say that's not a legitimate misspelling on the move. I don't know how many times he said on the move. But yeah, start from the beginning and start reading through and ask questions as you go through, because there's a lot of context lost just because you're not in the moment. So you don't know what was happening in the news at the time. You don't know what was going on, in Trump's presidency. So it's important to ask people who might have more context. I do this with a lot of friends. I spend a lot of time trying to give context around why that drop was the way it was. So start from the beginning, read through until you have questions, and then start asking questions and keep reading and keep asking more questions.
Well, like
so
I like,
Brother John,
sorry, Zena, but like I like also think it's like, like we've learned the drops. I mean, I just learned about this in 2020. That's what woke me up. But now it's a time where like we use these drops. I'm like trying to think of the words as a reference, like future proofs past. Now we're
Well,
at the
you're
point.
talking the daily, you're talking the daily deltas, right?
I'm
like
just
the 5
talking.
year,
I
6
mean,
year.
not even just daily deltas, like even timestamps, like comms from like Trump, like in the last week since the whole 34 accounts guilty. I mean, Trump has been and Scavino has been giving us hardcore comms. So I think now is where we're at. Future proofs past. We look at the timestamps, like they gave us all the information starting in 2017, and now here we are in 2024, where they're linking everything. Like everything is just coming together, and I think that's where we're at now. Like we need to kind of just use these drops as a reference.
I would not disagree with that. I mean, and some of the accounts are becoming a little bit more overt. I don't know if you know who Boone Cutler is. But he's like over the past month, he started retweeting a lot of us, even Anons, and he's like even retweeting straight decodes. So he's retweeting things with Q posts in them and stuff. So it's becoming even more overt at times. And for
and John, who's he connected with?
Boone Cutler, at least all the times I've met him, he's been hanging around General Flynn.
He's amazing.
Let's go.
Yeah. And for those who don't know, Boone Cutler, his primary MO was that he worked for the Army as a PSYOP guy.
Flynn.
So take that for what it's worth. But yeah, he hangs around Flynn all the time. And Ivan Reichland too as well.
We have an army of digital soldiers. Let's go.
Yeah, and thanks, guys. And we did kind of jump right into the 400 of it. I mean, I was excited. I got Mr. Smith in here. I got it. I went hard on it. But yeah, thank you for simplifying things too, because the point is we want people to find the information, and that's really what Q School was about too for a very long time. And again, we'll be re-releasing. Of course, you can find all that in the Q School archive channel. I guess we'll show that real quick here on Telegram. I think if you just search archive, would it pop up? Yeah, Q School Archive. It is t.me/ Q School Archive, or of course Q School with all Q's. Q School Archive has all of our previous recordings, I'd say for the most part, and we've also been putting some of the pup stuff in there. And this is where I would, if somebody, maybe you're coder, could help with this, is one thing I want to do with connecting with the Anons is if we can have like an artificial intelligence be able to view these recordings we have and see some of the key words that pop up and stuff, because we're just doing recordings for so long, and I wish we had some that took little notes where it'd be who came on the show and some of the key things we talked about. Tim, of course, would always do his best to kind of put a little message about it, but if we had some kind of trolling thing that could figure out the words that we were sharing, even get a transcript of it too, to be able to search all that, and then basically we have an archive of all that. But what the main thing Q School would do is we would visit these old drops, and then we would dig on it and find what we need to find about that particular information. So at that moment, so 2019, what are they talking about here? And we would give the context of what was happening then, but then also, as Tim and I and everyone's pretty much knows now, as these posts are quantum. So it may be a post from 2019, but like I said, it may be more relevant now than it was back then. But it's really neat to be able to, we would do both of that. We would show what was happening at that time when it was originally dropped, but also to understand that these drops are really alive and relevant to past, present, and future. So, and I encourage all Anons, if there's anyone who's like, oh, we've already done all this stuff, there's just so much more depth in these posts that we need to just keep revisiting and keep revisiting them.
Well, I love Kelly's response tonight too, and that is just to continue rereading them daily. And Q has said that, reread the drops, right? I want to ask Mr. Smith, and again, I appreciate you spending time with us. I know you're very busy, and I don't know how much time you have to spend, but we're going to try and hang on to you and client you as long as we possibly can, my friend. But since you've been doing this since 2018, and I was kind of a late starter, we call it the late starter, but I was a 2020, Karen to full-blown digital soldier. So, you've got a couple of years on me, but since you started to where we are today in 2024, my friend, how much impact has this movement in your eyes seen, especially with you with having the Qagg.news and worldwide movement and stuff like that? Like, is there anything that you can share with us tonight that kind of gives us even more hope than we already have? Not that we're on hopium or anything like that, but we know that there's more of us than them, but we know that the Great Awakening is expanding exponentially. But do you have any numbers yourself, sir?
Well, I mean, I have anecdotal stuff. I mean, and first and foremost, yes, the movement. I mean, how can you tell a movement is organic? Because it grows because it grows on its own accord. Okay, and the Q movement has grown unlike anything I've ever seen in my 54 years on this planet. So that's first and foremost. Second, they being, we don't know, members of the Q team, Dan Scavino, we don't know. We know some of them watch us from time to time, because the number of times me and some of my decoder buddies have had private conversations on a private platform away from the world. And we're talking about something esoteric, and we'd see all of a sudden that word appear in a Scavino tweet. We're like, come on. And, the first time we were like, okay, maybe that's a coincidence. But after like the third time of it happening, we're like, okay, they're watching some of us. So, and even last week, I won't give the details. I'll just say I kind of had a personal Q proof, like something astronomical happened, like right in front of my face. And I'm like, there's no way that was accidental. So they are all around, they are watching people, they are doing things that I wish I could get more specific than that, but you can't.
No, but you did explain that really well, and we've talked about that a lot here in our Patriot Unification Project, as we work really, really hard every day to unite with more patriots around the world. And it's not like we talk about the Q drops all the time, right? I mean, this channel specifically, we love to do the decodes and the deltas and and do the little digs and stuff like that. And we're just scratching the surface. I mean, we're learning so much tonight just from the features. Even Kyle's blown away. I mean, we've used Qagg, all those hundreds of shows that we've done done over the years, and we never realized how many other features were in there. We just kind of, and we try to keep it, like Kelly said, like just like there's so many new eyes and ears on this movement because the mainstream media fell right into that hashtag QAnon trap, right? I always call it the trap. And yeah, exactly. So there's more people that are curious. Like I was curious as a cat back in 2020. I mean, I was a full blown fucking Karen. And then I started saying, like, what is this stuff, right? And then you've got beautiful patriots like yourself that put out the, you know, you had the Qagg stuff was already out there when I was going through my awakening experience personally, and I was watching other anons, the OG anons that you speak of, and actually we had the opportunity on Q School over those years that we were really going hard into it and using your platform, sir. We had a lot of OG anons that we interviewed, and we have the recordings of those too also in the archive. And I mean, it's just amazing to see how this is unfolding. And I just want to say how much I love and appreciate everything that you've done and continue to do, sir. And if there's anything else that you wanted, like maybe we missed something here tonight, but I don't know how much time you have to spend with us, but I hope you can stay longer. But if there's anything we missed, please feel free to share it with us.
Well, I'll just say I don't have a bedtime tonight.
Let's go!
Nice.
Now, I will point out one other feature on the site. If you go up into the site menu.
Yep. A site menu, that's this one?
The one that says site menu.
Yep.
Where is it? Download Qagg new. The old one doesn't work anymore, and I don't know why I left it on the menu.
I was looking at that today, and I'm glad you brought that up, Mr. Smith. Yeah, I was looking at that. I wondered what it was.
So this will only work on a desktop computer, and you have to have a small bit of understanding of what your file system is and how to use it. But essentially what I've done here is I've constructed a bunch of files that if you put them all in one directory, and then you click on the index.html file in that directory, you will be running basically your own private copy of my site with about 80% of the functionality.
That's crazy.
Wow. I'm totally going to my desktop right now.
Yeah, do you mean like what Q said, archive offline? Is this what you're talking about?
Yeah, I guess I took that one a little bit seriously.
So you mean I can download all this and then I can go out in the wilderness and be disconnected from everything and everyone and still have the Q drops to search through?
You'll still have all the Q drops. You won't have any of the tweets or the truths, but you will have the drops.
Yeah, we can handle that.
So okay,
and they're searchable and everything.
So where is this? So I actually just went to my desktop. Okay, new.
Site menu.
I see it.
Qagg, whatever, new.
I'll be right back in just a second, guys.
That's crazy because I always use my cell phone and I have never used this.
I try to think of, well, I'll get a little bit of my history. I've worked in the tech industry my entire career. I'm going on, I don't know, 35 years now, something stupid like that. And so part of my career has been as that of a product manager. In other words, it's my job to make sure products get built correctly. So when I sit there watching people doing decodes, I've got my product manager hat on, and I'm like, okay, I need to add these 3 features into my site. That's literally how I'd work. And I mean, sometimes I could do it in a day. Sometimes it would take me a couple of weeks, but that's how I work. If I see something being done over and over again, that's how it works.
So can you kind of explain what this is? Like I opened it up on my desktop and I'm just seeing a bunch of hyperlinks, zip files. Can you kind of explain what this is all about?
What you have to do is download all the individual files and unzip them into a single directory. Okay, and if you don't know what unzipping is, I can't help you. Sorry. Go look it up. Go look it up.
I actually do know what that is, so I am good.
But basically, once you unzip all those into a folder or directory on your computer, there will be an index.html file. You double click that and it will bring up something in your browser. And that will be a local copy of my site, including all the images.
That is pretty cool. Like I said, I hardly ever use my desktop for this. But while I'm on the mic, I just want to let everyone know, I did drop a link for the Qagg site, and I did drop a link for the Qagg, not True Social, the Twitter.
X, whatever they call it nowadays.
Yeah, right, X. And then I also dropped the link for Boone's X account because he's actually really awesome. A little side note, there was a missing girl in my area, and Boone and Qagg were really fast to help share this. So definitely follow Qagg on X, and definitely follow Boone.
Yeah, I am the same on Truth Social. I'm just not there as often. So if you want to get my attention for something, do it on X, because I only go to Truth Social about once a week.
And that's how I got you here tonight.
Yep.
So does anyone new in this room, does anyone have any questions on how to search? If you're new to Q, I would love to, open up the floor for anyone who is new to this.
Actually, now that I think about it, when you're talking new people, most of them probably haven't seen the Joe M videos, right?
Oh my goodness. You have to see the Joe M video.
Okay, if you click the little movie icon on my site at the bottom of that list, I've got all the Joe M videos with his permission.
I've been watching.
What? So I actually have a question about Joe M, because when I woke up in 2020, that's what, I discovered Q, I discovered politics and everything. And the Plan to Save the World, I believe it's called, right?
Yep.
And all of a sudden he disappeared, after the whole purge, he was on Parler, and then he disappeared. So my whole thing, I have been trying to find him forever, even when we all jumped on Truth Social. And I swear, here's my theory, I feel like Joe M is a part of Q, because I think they inserted or infiltrated in a good way to share the truth, and I feel like Joe M was a part of that. He disappeared.
I've only ever chatted with him, and I disappeared before he did, from a lot of media. So I don't know where he went. And if he's a Q team member, well, then that's the only Q team member to whom I've ever spoken.
That you know of.
Well, because he's not even on Truth Social. Because he's a vet in it, as I'm a newbie, I'm a 2020 newbie, but he disappeared. He's not even on Truth Social. So I really feel like he was a part of the reawakening to get the ball rolling, So no one could even put a doubt in my mind that Joe M is a part of Q, or at least a part of something to help the ball rolling.
I don't know. I mean,
117%.
the videos were brilliant, and that's why I asked him permission to save them on my site. But yeah, as far as where he went or where he is now, I literally have no idea. I mean, I know he has my phone number. It hasn't changed. So if he ever wanted to reach out, he could get a hold of me.
So I'm actually trying to find that on your site, and where exactly? I mean, I have it saved somewhere on Rumble or something, but where is it on your site?
Okay, it's next to the chess player icon. There's a little movie film icon.
Okay.
Right there.
Oh, I never even see. This is Adobe Photoshop. It's unlimited. It's crazy.
Like I said, it's not for the timid.
This is cool, man. So, what are these? What all do you have up here with this video icon again? One of these mini things.
I've got a smattering of things I've collected over the years.
Are they any organized in any way? Can we search on here? Anything or no?
No, you can't search.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't feel like writing a search engine for those.
No worries, man. This is cool. I was just curious. Real quick, I want to, before I forget here, Q Research, I know I'm sure you're familiar with Q Research. Yep. This really cool thing on here they had is this. I actually don't know how to use this Q Research very well. I use it for show the arrest, some of that stuff, resignations. Obviously, I kind of learned the search, but again, there's more kind of it's kind of, I know it's for maybe the Chan type guys, so it's a little difficult for me to use. But one thing I really liked was right here. If you scroll down, this hyperlink to spreadsheet. And I used to have this all the time, and I don't know if it was Google or something must have shut it down. Can you kind of try to find access to that, and then, or would you know how to get that back? Because basically what it was is, again, answers to Q posts. Now, granted, it was the anons, and especially early on, giving their best opinions. It was really nice to just look at and see, okay, who died on the Titanic. That was really powerful. If we could figure out a way to get that back, and also call out to our anons too to create something similar to this or build off of that, where we can add more in-depth answers to this spreadsheet. But it's gone. I was wondering if there's any way we can get this back.
I actually know Resignation Anon. I does sometimes take time to respond. So I'll send them a note, and I might get a reply in 2 days. I might get a reply in 20 days. I don't know.
Okay.
But I can at least ask them.
Okay. And it's Google Sheets. I don't know if anybody else knows this. I feel like I had it saved on my device so I could still use it. But now if you go to it through the hyperlink, Google shut it down or something. So I don't know what's up with that. Thanks for the info, though. And yeah, if you can reach out, wonderful. Yeah, anybody new have any questions? I was trying to think of something else. I was busy taking care of stuff over here. I was listening. Go ahead.
I've been watching the chat pretty good here, but at first I want to say thank you, sir, for coming and joining us today. It's a great honor and a privilege for you to be here. And I thank you. Much love to everybody. And I've been watching the chat pretty good here. And there was one hand I saw raised the whole time. It was Minnie TNT. She had her hand raised.
Thanks, Jim. Are they still in here?
I've muted Mini TNT if they would like to go ahead.
Welcome to the show, Mini TNT. Come on down.
This is the first time I've been in here, so
nice. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. But I accidentally hit.
No accidents. Welcome to the show. What do you call that, Tim?
Thing as coincidence.
What's Tim call it?
Random.
Q School false flag. It's always the time to give a little shout out, right, Tim? Was that what you call it? Q School false flag. We love those.
Yeah, we call the Q School false flag. Yep.
But I did save those since I came in. You know, I missed quite a bit, I think, of your teaching. So I saved the two that I think it was Kelly. Was it Kelly that posted it to the wall?
Yeah, probably Kelly.
I did post the Qagg link, but this is being recorded, so you could always come back and listen to the full chat.
Okay, great. That's wonderful. Well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Nice to meet you, TNT. And yeah, keep coming back. Ask questions. Always, and we're always here for each other.
I sure will. Thank you.
So while we're on that real quick, I do want to mention, I know it costs money to have a website up, and I don't really see very easy way to donate to you or something. And that's something maybe Q School and I were never great at. We just wanted to get the information out, and we did thousands of hours of Q Schools and pretty much never even tried to monetize it, maybe ask for donations here or there. And I think it is important. I think we also need to be open to receiving. We've been kind of blocked and tricked by the cabal that you're not supposed to share your gifts, and people are more than happy to share resources with us, and then we can give back more too. So I know it costs money to keep a site up and whatnot. How can we help you out, Mr. Smith? Maybe throw some shekels your way, help you just cover costs of the website, or what? How can we help you?
Well, first, that's because I never took donations from day one. I was up. I had donations for about a month, and when I got banned from Patreon, I'm like, you know what? I just feel guilty taking people's money for this because I didn't think I was doing anything special.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't had a link up. But because of the divorce, I'm potentially looking at bankruptcy. I'm like, I don't feel like shutting and rebuilding the site again. So I'm hopefully in a week or two going to have a merch store up.
Okay, and please consider the donation thing. And this is actually our, I can speak personally for myself, generational trauma and wounding, in particular about money. And then again, we have a lot of programming. You have put so much time and effort into this. You have provided incredible value. Other people will be more than happy to reciprocate that value in monetary or whatever kind of help you may need. And it's okay to ask for these things, because again, it will, especially let's say whatever situation you're dealing with at home, it allows you to even provide more back to the community. You know, we have those good intentions. We're not, it just gives us more of a vehicle to help more people. So I just encourage you to not be shy about that and just have it there, and people are more than happy, and you shouldn't feel guilty at all because you've done an amazing thing. And thank you.
I know. Well, I mean, if there's anything about a lot of us autists out there, it's like we generally don't like asking for things.
Right. Absolutely.
So,
No,
I mean,
I totally with you, but it's part of it
I,
too, is the growth is asking. Go
I
ahead,
had
sir.
I've had a couple of OG friends push me into saying, you got to open a merch store. You got to open a merch store. People will just go nuts for it.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right,
For sure.
fine.
Yeah, we'd be happy to support you as well too. So, because it's a cost, you know what I mean, right? Like you still got to pay for the domain and the hosting site, right? I don't know how that works, but those are all costs,
Exactly. Like, it's not like we're helping like Phil, like shills like Phil, who's trying to like make money. Like, I don't mind. Like, I have a and we know hoodie and sticker, and I love to like buy that stuff to support real patriots, because it really is a lot of time and a lot of effort, especially a website. Like, it's not even just like doing like a Rumble channel. Like, freaking Qagg is like full blown like research websites. So, I'm actually unemployed, but as soon as I get my shit back in, back in gear, I definitely would love to support you. And like, didn't you say that you were gonna start like a merch site?
Yeah, I mean that's the primary means. I actually found somebody who did the artwork for me. I haven't finished the designs. I got a couple of prototypes that I showed, I think, a couple of weeks ago on Twitter, and one of which I was actually here's some irony for you. I chose to wear a Q shirt, one of my Q shirts, to the last Flynn movie showing here in Texas. And in the video where I'm rubbing Ivan Reichlein's head, you can clearly see the shirt, and it says "Panic in DC," which is kind of ironic because Ivan is the deep state marauder. So,
nice.
Little bit of weirdness there. I mean, whatever that means.
Like, it would just be nice to get like, I mean, because when I first discovered Q was in 2020, so I was able to go on like Etsy. Like, I have a Q hoodie. That's when I like took my oath. I actually shared it live on Q School, but like, you can't find that like anymore. Like, if like you go to Etsy and you search that, it's all like anti. It's like QAnon crazy people, far right freaking craziness. So it really would be nice. Like, I want a new friggin' Where We Go One, We Go a hoodie, because mine is getting old. So if you get that site going, I would 100% buy a Where We Go One, We Go All hoodie.
I'm gonna have like a series of those, probably a series of Nothing Can Stop What Is Coming, and I'm still toying with These People Are Stupid, and obviously Panic in DC, and a few other things. I mean,
John, if I may, brother John, I would highly encourage you to do the Give Send Go too. Also, I've been a big fan of Give Send Go through this battle, through the warfare. I mean, we know who the bad actors are. We know who the deep state funding sites are. The Give Send Go has been a real blessing to me and so many others in this movement. And we do it a lot quietly behind the scenes, but I'm telling you, I mean, especially this Patriot, the Patriot Unification Project, we're all about prayer. We know that we've been chosen to be here, Heavenly Father, and that is like, and it doesn't have to be financial donations; it could be prayers. prayers are just as important as financial donations, my friend. So if you want help, we're going, we will oblige. We will just go ahead and work with you on that, sir, and open up a Give Send Go. And I'm sure the community, the Anon community, it would go wild. It would go, yeah. I'm just saying.
I'll think about it. I mean, that one's a little more difficult, but I'll think about it.
Yeah, Tim, I think, is this the one when I set it up for the Q School, we never really used it, but they actually even called me, asked about what it was.
No, it was something different, brother. No. I set up a Give Send Go for Q School, actually, and a lot of patriots came forward when I was in desperate need of help. And yeah, I mean, it helps a lot of people. It really does. And the prayers, like I said, are just as important as the financial donations. So.
Yeah, awesome. So it was one of the other ones, though. It was we didn't use it, but I had set it up, and they were a Christian-based donation, and they actually just called me, asked what it was about, and made a prayer over what we were doing, which was really cool. I just want to add that. So it sounds like these people are on the same kind of level. So that's pretty neat. Thank you.
Yep, they are some awesome people. I know that. Before I forget, for like the 50th time, there is one more feature I want to show, just because of one unique result that was a first, I think, like a month ago. So get back to my site, turn on the Trump truths.
And let me show everybody this too, guys. So all these functions, again, there's a ton right in here. Again, right here is the help function to kind of teach you how to search. What settings got for us? Looks like we probably wouldn't use this very much. I mean, but you can look through all this. So just encourage you guys all to look through all these different things. So Q Post, now True Social. So I'm going to click that one. And you could do all. We got Donald Trump. That's the one you wanted, Trump, right?
Yep, just do all in section for Donald.
Okay. And then, I got you to cover just those two. All right. Wait, why didn't it do this? Is that technically... This all looks different now, guys, but y'all can figure it out. There's a little box here, like feeds and stuff, to turn this on a little bit easier. Just play around. It's all the same buttons, just kind of different location now.
If you click all in section, that covers both beneath it.
Wait, maybe because I did. Okay, I got you.
There you go.
And this at Trump deleted would still be real
need to go.
Real Donald Trump. Mute that mic.
Go ahead. No.
Mute that mic. Admins, mute that mic.
Okay.
Welcome to Q School. Okay, so I got, did I do that right? No, I got to hit save. I forgot to.
Yep.
So when you click this too, guys, make sure you hit save at the bottom. I will add to that. When you do that, if you open a new Qagg page, those settings will still be in there. Is that mic still open? Admins, mute that open mic, guys. Somebody has an accidental mic open. Okay, so I think I have it up. True Socials. Go ahead.
So,
what do you want me to
click sort I just want to make sure they're actually there.
Oh, I got you.
We're reversed.
Yep. Okay.
All right. Now search for FBI at building.
FBI at building?
Well, yeah, do that double ampersand to look for both.
Oh, okay. And building. I got you.
Yep.
Okay. This is a good one too, guys, for searching. In particular, if I'm, and I say this quite a bit, and I want to stay on what you have this while you're on it, but so I'll show it next, is searching different terms. I'm going to show that after you, but I'm going to go ahead and do this first, and then I'll add to some of the searching functions. Okay, so 7 truths and 1 Q drop with both.
Right,
so what this?
Okay, the all caps one there. That's the one I want.
This one right here. Okay.
Blow that one up a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. Yep, that's the one. All right. So in the upper right-hand corner, you see that little A icon?
Yep.
Click that, and then scroll to the bottom of the post.
Copy all capital letters. Cool, that's neat. Okay.
So scroll to the bottom of the post.
Wow.
So what it does is it pulls all the capital letters out, and then it mirrors them. And then what it does is it eliminates any capital letter that appears more than once. So it only shows you unique letters. Now, if you scroll to the bottom of this post, you'll see for the first time in Trump posting, the only time this has ever happened.
Oh, wow.
I love that feature. That's an awesome feature. I use it all the time.
Shit. You guys see that? Do you see what just happened? This reduces the duplicates. So literally every letter is duplicated besides Q.
Yes.
The depth of the shit you find when you dig into this stuff, it just boggles
good for
your mind.
gematria. It's great
Yeah.
for gematria.
Yeah.
I was watching somebody on 8chan or Aikun, HN, whichever, or several people, I don't know, to do this. They were pulling out the capital letters. And I'm like, well, that's easy. It literally took me like half an hour to write the routine to do it.
Wow.
And then, one of my friends, I didn't even notice this one because I just let people do their thing. I try to like stay backed off so I'm not biased. And he's like, dude, you got to look at this. And he's like, dude, you got to check to make sure that your function's working correctly.
Because it came up like this.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay. And I checked it. I'm like, my function doesn't. I actually posted. Somebody was arguing with me on Truth Social about this. So I'm like, I posted the code. I'm like, my code is what it is. It's eliminating them mathematically.
So my question on that is, if there's one T, is it one T crosses off and then there's a third T, would that be not duplicated, or any letter?
Anything more than anything. If there's two or more, they're eliminated.
Okay. And that would probably be too hard to make a sentence. So there's the one Q probably in there, right? Quickly, right there. We'll do it quickly at the very end. Oh, triple exclamation point too, which General Flynn signed some of those. Where we go one, we go all books in the very early days with the triple exclamation point.
Yep.
You know what?
So that's really cool.
I actually use that function, and I searched Trump's Truth Social all caps, and it literally in gematria it said the storm is coming. That like gave me the chills. I love that function.
That's why I put it there, because and that's also my other philosophy is I don't put anything in that I think will bias people in the way they work. Okay, I don't have I'm not like Google or DuckDuckGo where I have an auto completing search. I don't have that, and a lot of other capabilities, specifically because that would be me introducing or suggesting something to you with us introducing bias. And that's not my goal. My goal is to enable you to find what you think what you think is in there, not what I think is in there.
Yeah, thank you. And I will say too, for Tim and I, this is gonna be such a big help, because we do that a lot, is the timestamp differences, because you can really find out some information. But the fact that it's just right here. So I guess is that 1 day? Is that 1 day or 1 hour? 1 hour.
One D is 1 day.
Yeah. So 1 hour, 10 minutes, 38 seconds.
Yep.
So we would usually convert it to, usually it's not that long. So let me do a better one here where it's like minutes to, we're not gonna have many replies on that end. I mean, it'd be easy for us to convert anyways from hours to minutes. I gotta choose some. I want to show something. And then one kind of request, because we used to do it a long time ago. Let's say you got QPost 4965 and you have all these amazing icons. Again, I don't even know what half of them are. So if maybe you want to even explain this, but one of our favorites, Tim and I, is the cross. We used to be blue. I'm curious how that changed or why, maybe because when you came back on the site, but we always call it the blue cross. So what the blue cross is the numeric anagram. Let me just show everybody, and then let you jump right in. Is what it does is, you see it broken down right here, 4965. It's going to take a numeric anagram, meaning all the different combinations of these numbers. So 4956, 4695, on. And you'll also see here, there's these combinations, 9,000. We don't have that many posts, probably won't be that many, but so those don't count, but it still shows it here. And then just like everything else on Qagg search, you can still get the answer right here. So there's actually 6 drops that come off of 4965 in different numeric anagrams. And just like everything else, you see some really amazing connections that happen when you look at this function. So go ahead, Mr. Smith, I'll let you add that. And can we get the blue cross back? That's just a personal request.
I actually changed that just to make all my HTML the same.
Oh, okay.
That was a standout. It's like I oopsed that, and I got around to fixing it one day. Now the single left to right arrow, if you're on a drop, what that will do is give you a spread. I think of like 10 to the left, 10 to the right of the current drop you're on.
Okay, hold on. Let me catch up with you here. So where you want to start? With this arrow right here you're talking about?
Yep, that one right there.
So it shows 6 drops before and after. Oh, I like that, because I know I was just showing even last night QPost 61. Okay, the first time we get the Q signature, for anybody that doesn't know, QPost 61, QAnon is 61 too. Oh, dang it, what happened there? That might be my computer doing weird things. Okay, 61. But now, and I've never used that. So again, first Q signature here, but to add relevance and anyone too that doesn't understand this in the Q drops is there are themes, and it's all designed there. Everything's interconnected. So you'll get more context by actually reading and reviewing the text prior to and after a drop. Gives more context, certainly. So we're going to hit this little button right here. It's the left and right arrow. I think it would be cool. I don't know if it makes it hard then. I don't understand all the HTML. I know that's all coding stuff, but if these would be kind of colored, it would be cool. But we know what they are now. And Tim and Zena, maybe we could have a thing in the near future to teach how to use Qagg to new people. That would be really cool after we've done this. So now what we're going to see, guys, is, by the way, this sort function is nice too. If anybody doesn't know, you're starting out with the highest number and going down is generally how you open, but you can always switch it. So then you have the lower number. So sure enough, 6 posts prior to 61 is 55. How about that? Look to Twitter, exactly this. My fellow Americans, the storm is upon us, God bless. We started the show with that little video showing that Trump on his Truth Social, I guess, even said that. He said soon, right? And then, so you just get more, right here is a really quick, easy way to see the drops prior to, and then after, just for more context. So then you can see, look, we had Alice in Wonderland signature on 59, Alice in Wonderland signature on Q post 60. I'm calling signatures like how you're signing the end of your post. And then 61, the signature is Q for the first time. And then it goes back on the next one, where is BO today? Below a Alice in Wonderland signature. So anyways, yeah. What else? What's the next one? What do you want to show next?
Well, I just want to jump in that Trump gave us a Truth Social post, and he actually had Alice in Wonderland in his post. Like, big boom, boom.
That's crazy. Let me show this real quick at how powerful this whole site is too, because I do want to even show when you have the Q posts up, or excuse me, X posts, Twitter, especially in particular Trump's. I'm just going to do Trump. There's so much stuff here, which is awesome too. And it's just crazy that this is all here. But let me do, and for instance, and like he was mentioning how easy or well it works for searching Donald Trump's Twitter. And now his Twitter's back on, but things have maybe been removed. And so this is an incredible archive, and it's a great exercise in itself. You can even turn off the Q drops and just have Trump tweets here. So we have 54,568 drops. So there's plenty of stuff, but then you can still search different terms in here, but also just the exercise of seeing what he was tweeting when he first tweeted, especially when you start to see like this has been a plan for a long, long time. No coincidence, May the 4th be with you on his first drop. And he brings up David Letterman and top 10 list. And we also were just showing, let me show this one because this is one Tim found a long time back. And I think I had it up here, was the less than 10. Here it is. Search less than 10 and we get exactly 9 drops. So very interesting. So yeah, that's cool. So watch, I'm gonna do it real live, what she just asked for about Truth Social. So I'm actually gonna or let me show this real quick with Twitter up. Watch me put in vaccine, and I don't have the Q post up right now, but look at this Q post. So that's Trump 119 9/11 mirrored. I didn't realize there's that many, actually, to be honest with you. I didn't, but check this out. You can really see some stuff when people are like, oh, Trump was pushing the vaccine. Lots of autism and vaccine response. Stop these massive doses immediately. Go back to single spread out shots, single shot. What do we have to lose? Okay, this is way back in 2012. So if you know, these are great things to show people if they're like, oh, right here, New York Times write about vaccine damage and its price. 3 girls with autism here, Mr. Trump. I mean, this is incredible spreading of awareness. And then you can also see the plan and design. Now, once he became president, you still have to get the vote, and there's a lot of people that aren't awake yet. So he has to play that, you know, middle road game. He can't say things like this, but it's all right here when you do the research.
Yep. Well, and the other reason this is valuable is because when he retweets people, you if you're on X, you can't see the timestamp, and I expose the timestamp for the retweets.
Wow. Okay, that's cool. So what I'm going to do now is bring up Truth. Okay, I'll show you guys how to search this. So that was Q post, and it's going to stay up. I'll just leave his his Twitter up. But now I'm going to turn on Trump's tweets, and so this says at Trump deleted, but clearly it's from the real Donald Trump deleted Truth, right? That's what that would be. Okay, I guess I could have done all, but I'll just do this one. Hit save, and now I'm going to search that too. We're gonna fact check our Anon here, who said there was an Alice in Wonderland. So I'm going to just try Alice. This is an example of what I like to do is Sometimes if you put too many words, if you don't have it exact right, you might not find something. But I've found different things by searching less as possible, as long as there's not too many. So let's just try Alice for fun and see what comes up. So we get 12 tweets and 3 truths with Alice in there. So that would be interesting to look through. I'm going to skip over the Twitter ones for right now. I guess I could have flipped it to go right to, no, you know what? I'm going to turn off the Twitter. It's hard to tell the difference to me right now. So I'm just going to turn this off because we're going to find that Alice in Wonderland truth that was mentioned. There it is. I see it on the year I was born, 1984, right here. So May 13th, 2024. So very recently, Donald Trump, DJT on True Social. Mark Levine, a fraudulent intent is required to prove a crime, but a fraudulent intent to commit what crime? If Bragg, that's the Alvin Bragg, right? Is that the judge or something? Cannot articulate the crime or won't. How can Trump have had a criminal intent to commit it, whatever it is? This is Alice in Wonderland in 1984 combined. Let me put it as succinctly as possible. There's no crime, state or federal, with which to link Donald Trump. This is a case looking for a legal basis. There is none. So there, and there's another one actually. Excuse me, Jared. So it's interesting how he uses 2 different people in their quoting, but again, there's no accent. So we get 2 Alice in Wonderlands right in Donald Trump's tweets, and even 1984. There's the comment removed. You know, there's 1984 is mentioned in the Q post, either by Anons or Q themselves. So let me read this other one here, May 30th. So this is even more recent. Can you see how long it's been since today's date with these drops? Is there a way to do that or no?
If you just go to that post directly, it'll give you a time to now.
Oh, right. Okay. That makes sense. So if anybody follows that, if I just had this post up, it does it like, I'll show you this last one. No, wait. Where it does the count up? Okay. Well, anyways, if I had just this post up, it would show up until now, and it's a live running clock, which is super amazing.
If you reverse the direction, it should show up.
Okay. I got you. That makes sense. Okay, because then that's more recent. That's why I wasn't doing it. Okay, that makes sense. There we go. So right here, this was his last with our search function. So now, and look at it, 17 minutes, 6 days, 14 hours, and 17 minutes, and it was just 17 seconds. This happens to us all the time. And I was busy when you mentioned it too, Ms. Smith, is absolutely the more you dig into the Q posts, you get involved with them, you will absolutely have a direct confirmation of some kind in multiple different ways. And certainly Tim and I have had many of those throughout our days on Q School that are just truly mind-boggling, and it connects us, and it's a special moment when you have that. And you really see, like, we're all part of this, and they're watching, right? And we're all connected.
Absolutely.
So I just want to bring a point with Alice in Wonderland. Like, I know there's drops that say that it's Saudi Arabia, but if you actually look at the address of the Alice in Wonderland statue, which is in Central Park, and the address is 74th Street. And if you look at drop 74, it actually mentions Alice in Wonderland. But then also, you know, with like Central Park, it's notorious for like missing children. And what's also not that far from the Alice in Wonderland statue is the Clinton Foundation. And then there's a port. There is a few ports over there on the water. So definitely linked to a Clinton, and which makes me believe that she is a part of or in charge of the New York City sex trafficking port.
Yep.
So check this out, Kellyanne, too.
Kyle, just give me a sec, brother, please. Yeah. I'm watching the chat. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. I mean, we're exploding tonight. I saw Yoda had his hand up, but he's back hard muted. That's fine. Raise your hand, Yoda, if you want to come in. Brother Scott. Remember Brother Scott?
Yeah.
From school? Oh, man, he's got his hand up. So okay. While we have Mr. Smith with us, and this is what we're learning about QA.news, right? We have the owner-operator here, my friends. Let's bring on Brother Yoda and then Brother Scott. Yoda was first. The admins, please help me out.
While he's coming in, Kellyanne, if you look, I took the mirror. So like I said, Q equals Alice in order, everything has meaning, and then take the mirror, 47. And then you can paint the picture based solely on the questions asked, and it ends with a Alice in Wonderland signature.
Yeah, I
Boom,
just had to
boom.
get that.
So we got Yoda. Okay, Yoda, you have the stage and the microphone for a couple of minutes. We've got Mr. Smith, Qagg.news. Brother, what do you have to say? You got a question?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, I just had to hit the time at 11:17, and I'm telling you something. Hunter's going down, and Fanny, bye Fanny. They thought that they got us. We got them by the tail. All right.
Nothing can stop what is coming, baby.
Nothing can stop what's coming.
Yoda, brother Yoda, you've been with Q School for a long time. We have Mr. Smith with us, the owner, operator, the designer of Qagg.news. Is there anything you'd like to ask him, or anything you'd like to announce or say to him?
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, just trying to get through this program. We got this, all right?
5-5, brother. Thanks
Always
for
good to
coming.
hear. Always good to hear your voice, Yoda. And you're a wild card like me, but you got a big heart, and we love having when you pop in. Thanks for your support, brother.
All right, now Yoda actually just reminded me of one crazy function that I haven't shown you, just because it's like probably the least used on the site. So if you go up into the digging menu, digging options, I think it's near the bottom. Think mirror, second from the bottom.
Oh wow, because this is where you can see some images and stuff too, right?
Yes, it literally reverses the whole post.
So these are off. These are misaligned because I have the Delta thing on, probably.
Yes.
Correct. Okay.
Correct.
So how do I change that?
Just turn the deltas off.
Where's that at?
Up there.
Oh, okay.
Top one and the one right below it too.
Okay.
There you go.
So these ones automatically, I don't have to give her nothing. When you click these, they automatically go. Okay.
Yeah.
So this one, guys, talk about the depth of these posts is some add-ons. I remember way early on, and I don't think people have expanded on it too much more, at least that I'm aware of, is some of these drops, an image will be created with this mirror effect, right? You want to add anything about that, Mr. Smith?
No, I mean that's why I put it in there. And once I saw how easy it was with HTML and CSS, I'm like, why not?
Yeah.
So I just did it.
That's cool, man. That's super cool. This is really neat. I think everything has a timing and purpose too, and I think we're going to be coming back stronger than ever with the Q School version 3.0. I guess it is now, Tim, right? 3.0. And but this is
anyway. At least.
Amen, brother. Amen.
Yeah, and when you're done, pal, bring on Brother Scott. Scott's unmuted. Brother Scott.
Yeah.
For a long time. When you're ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. And I think it was Kellyanne say something again, or who was that?
I was just gonna say, I actually learned the whole mirror and like looking at those drops to read them backwards through Q School. So props to Q School for teaching me that little gem.
Thanks for the shout out. Love you. Come on, Scott. Come on down, brother.
How's it going?
What up?
Oh, this is a interesting platform you got tonight.
Yeah. How you doing, buddy? You just hanging out? Yeah, you doing good?
Oh yeah, I'm doing good. Doing fine.
Good to
Just
hear,
thought
man.
I'd pop on tonight, and I'm glad I have.
Right on. Yeah, I'm not on super as much lately, although I will be coming back with fire and fury. But it's good to hear from you too, man.
All right.
I'll keep saying that, but he keeps saying that. We're just waiting for
Coming.
that.
Coming, buddy.
It'll happen.
Let's go.
We know timing is everything. Brother Scott, I just want to say how much I love and how much we've missed you. I hope all is well with you and the family, brother. Please check your DMs. I've sent you several DMs over the last several months. And do you have anything you'd like to ask or say to Mr. Smith, the owner-operator of Qagg.news, brother, which we have spent a lot of time on over the years while you were working with us here in Q School?
No, I'm good. Everything he says is pretty true. So
I got one for you, Mr. Programmer. How about this? So when we do the deltas, we're Where's is it sets? Oh no. Oh wait, you changed that, right? How do we do today's deltas, Tim? Where's right here, deltas. Okay.
Upper right.
So let me just show, for instance, let me show everything. Let's say I want to look up drops on March 16th. Okay, so I'm gonna go to the search function, the question mark. Okay, guys, and read all this stuff. And Zero Deltas explains what they are. Our search system, that'd be Mr. Smith's search system, but it's all of ours now because of the beautiful work he's done. And specific drop numbers, ranges of drops, how to do all that stuff, date and time here. Okay, so it's very specific, but it takes a little. So once you practice, you'll learn it. So what I want for drops with this day, let's say this day and month. I guess we're gonna. Sometimes I forget how to do this here. So day and month. It's a little tricky because you don't have just day and month, but if you follow these signals, you should be able to figure it out. So if I want to do March 16th, I'll do 03// and then 16. I think I got it, but
no, it's 03/16/.
Okay, let me just. So I'm gonna go jacket. I'll put the jacket D and then 03 1/.
1/16/ and then
enter. Slash. Okay. So that's pretty easy. For some reason, I thought you had to have 2 maybe in there. Okay, and so now the reason this comes up with nothing is because there's no Q drops on March 16th anywhere. So let me just show this now. We'll go to make sure we're searching it right. We're going to do 03/17. March 17th has, drumroll, 17 drops. And this is when we noticed where there's these connections at. Okay, and my beautiful, brilliant sister realized Q post 316, since there was no March 16th drops, is a very odd drop that I think is definitely reading the map because it's so different. And maybe you can help me understand this from the Chans as well, is because these are all anons, which they're all Q. Martial law starting the 11th. A couple more. I like subject Q. Again, these are all just anons, and it's all linked in here, which it normally wouldn't be the way that you kind of, again, show only the reply, but this is actually all one reply. It's super odd. I might keep reading them because they're all relevant. Yes, felt that speech was odd last night, but in a good way. POTUS emphasis and speech patterns. We need to go back and listen closely. He did emphasize words used by Q and POTUS Twitter. Find Right Side Broadcasting Network on YouTube, missing YO. U.S. military will be the strongest in the world. The speech yesterday was bomb AF. Re-listen to POTUS speech. Re-listen to Pelosi's seizure. Yes, I was stuck. There's a missing R. Should be struck by how that speech paralleled the themes you've been posting here. Looking at the map gives a good idea of the operations it had. Q's being pretty blatant about it. We just didn't know this was Q back then. Renegade, there's the missing R. Okay, R, missing stuck, should be struck. Missing R, renegade next. Connect the markers. Are these relevant? Okay, the proposed change to the Lord's Prayer is not the point. The point is that Q revealed that this was known a month before it was revealed publicly. Q wants us to understand that what is in the map is real, and this provides the evidence for it. The important point is justice. POTUS speech used terms found in the map, more evidence that truth is being revealed. Q is legit, and justice is being served. We need to assemble, and spread the map now and demonstrate why it is true due to the new proofs. Okay, proofs were provided for a very specific reason contained within. We're almost done here. Notice Q is in a different color. I'm not quite sure what that's about, more like what they were posting on the channels, maybe any background on that. Let me finish this real quick. Something to keep in mind for the future in case it becomes something relevant like Monday in yesterday's post. That's a weird way to say all of that. Justice. His speech in Pensacola mentioned the U.S. military providing justice throughout the world. Hope that isn't just some standard neocon justification to be the world's policeman. Isn't it funny how it sounds just like an animal? This is Q. Having fun. Q, there it is. And then what has been said about the U.S. military? The speech yesterday verified and unlocked so much. Expand your thinking. Reread crumbs. Re-listen to yesterday's speech. Connect the markers. News in all forms unlocks the map. Expand your thinking. The Great Awakening Q. And then it's very odd here, too, with a double Q signature. Quote, we love our U.S. military on behalf of an entire nation. Thank you for your sacrifice and service, end quote. Timestamp. How many clues must we provide Q? So very interesting post just by looking at deltas as well. Anything to add on? I guess I asked a handful of things there.
Well, I mean, the big thing to know about 8chan, and I actually wrote a primer. If you go back on my Twitter, I don't know, like a month or two ago, there was somebody like telling people the exact wrong thing about how to look at replies and how to look at posts on 8kun. So I wrote like a little, I don't know, 8-post thread about how 8kun works. The big thing you need to know is if you reply to somebody, you can reply to one person, you can reply to multiple people. If you reply to multiple people, you get what you just saw in a Q drop.
Okay, that makes sense.
And there, Q replied to a whole lot of people.
Okay, okay, and it was them, but okay, that makes a lot of sense. And then what's he talking about? The color here, what's that indicating? Do you know what that they're talking about?
We're early on here. Oh, actually, we're 60,000 posts in. What's the deal? They're probably talking about that on the board. The Q and the trip code. The trip code especially shows up as a different color from anybody else that's posting. So if you're anonymous, it just says anonymous in black. I think it is. I'm colorblind, so I don't remember.
Okay.
But the Q, when the Q shows up, and especially with the trip code is like glowing.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So I appreciate that. So now where I want to maybe put your coding skills to work here, because I've asked other people and we just haven't been organized enough. But again, to show everyone, there's 0 deltas for March 16th. Let me show Q alert too, because Q alert's kind of a nice function on searching date. Theirs is different because you got to put you do it as, what is it, MAR, M-A-R, and then 16. So March 16th, 0 drops. Okay, just showing it from another source here. And then we go to March 17, and we get 17 deltas. And we had the military give us our own Q School proof live on the show when we were trying to show old proofs. They gave us one that day. It was pretty special. But I was wondering if there's any way I can just see it in my mind, if we could make like a map, like a scatter plot of the deltas. So we would have March 16th, 0, March 17th, 17, March 18th. Let's see what March 18 would be, and have some sort of scatter plot. And I think we'll be able to see something with that. So 15 drops March 18th. You see what I'm saying? If it could just be scatter plotted or some way to.
That's been in the back of my brain for a long time.
Okay.
So it's not the first time this has been asked. It's just a matter of when I have time.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. And so, and then I'm sure it seems like it would be somewhat easy. Just got to put a little work in there. And it's way above my head, so I don't know. Maybe it is difficult, but
and just so you're aware, you can actually search my site similarly. If you go to my site and do 03/16,
I got to put the D in there though, right?
No, you don't.
Okay.
I added something a couple weeks ago.
Okay. So like this.
Yep.
Nothing else in there. Just put it like that.
Yep.
Okay, that's a bad example. No, March
16th. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but that was good to just test it. Okay. Wow, neat. I like that. I was going to add, because that's kind of why I went over to the Q alerts, because it was kind of easy to do a specific date for that. So this is nice. Thank you.
So yeah, you have 2 ways you can search dates and times. One, if you want to get very, very specific, and one, if you want to be more general.
Mm-hmm. Oh, look at what came up right here too. Look at this strike. It's missing the T. Strike there, what we just showed March 16th, where they're missing the R on struck. It's stuck me. It's struck. This one's the reverse. It's the T missing on strike. Strike is also a military thing too, but man, there's just so much in these drops. It's crazy. But thank you. This is great.
That's great info. I just want to jump in here for a second and just remind everybody that a lot of patriots are coming in hard muted tonight. We did that purposely because obviously we don't want to be distracted from shills trolls, and we were attacked the other night on one of our pup channels. So if you do have a question, or if you want to come on and say hello to Mr. Smith, the owner operator of Qagg.news, just simply tap your microphones, raise your hand. We'll see you guys in the chat, and we'll unmute you. There we go, Teresa, right away. See that? Boom. Ask and you shall receive. Teresa, you're open. Let's go. What do you got?
Thank you, Tim. I'm laying in bed, so I hope you can hear me. The original QAnon posts that later were discounted as QAnon, were those ever validated drops?
What can you clarify what you're asking exactly? I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Okay, in the beginning, whenever I first came into this about 4 years ago, they showed me some drops, and I can't say who they is either, okay? But they showed me some drops that were QAnon linked, and everybody says, of course, that there is no QAnon, yada, yada, yada. Well, I heard later that, yes, there is a QAnon originally on 4chan, or 4chan, however you say that. The QAnon posts were actually first before the latter Q post came out. Does anybody follow me what I'm saying here?
So there was somebody being Q before Q on October 28th, 2017. Is that what you're saying?
No, what she's talking about is there are actually QAnon references inside
Oh.
themselves.
Oh, wow. Okay. Keep going.
And I got to look them up because it's been a while.
But she's saying, well,
There's
I
one
just
in
searched.
particular. I won't interrupt again, I promise. But there's one in particular that I paid attention to 4 years ago when they were training me, is the only way I could put it. But it said that Pompeo was vice president. It was a 3-part QAnon post. The other 2 parts, one of them was about the generals in the Pentagon. There was 11 of them that was arrested. Another 3rd part was about a China diplomat who was also arrested. Does that ring a bell?
That does not ring a bell for me, no.
So,
not an actual Q drop, no.
News bullshit.
Yeah, because 4 years ago, anybody could say that they're that. And Tim spoke about this earlier, if you weren't in here too, is we, the White Hats, used this term QAnon in the beginning it did assemble us. We could search on Twitter and you could in YouTube and you could get all the information needed about it. But then the media took the bait and were using this QAnon. And then not till 2020, 10/17, did they, drop the bomb and like basically expose this. But they, Q trapped and tricked the Anons too, because if the Anons were tricked, so too is the enemy too. So then Q post 4881, there is Q, there are Anons, there is no QAnon. And that's for a very specific reason. Read the rest of the post. We've talked about this one quite a bit here. And then so to say 4 years ago, we're talking 2020, any Joe Schmo could basically be saying post something QAnon. That's why the trip codes are so important and everything with it. Now, I'm not saying that there could be legitimate information outside. And in fact, that's something I maybe want to ask about to Mr. Smith here is I know there's Q posts that are there that are, I don't know what to call them, the hidden ones that they specifically said basically not to release to the public. But is there any way to find those for somebody that's not super tech savvy like myself? And is there anybody...
There's only 8 or 10 I'm aware of.
Okay.
And the only one I know who logged them was the original Clockmaster Qagg. And they're embedded. If you go to q-clock.com, I think it's still there.
Q like with a dash like this?
Yes, q-clock.com. Okay, it's still there. Somewhere on there is like download a program.
Okay.
And inside that program, you'll occasionally you'll get lists of drops, or you're going to see all of them. And yeah, Q Clock. I can barely read it, but I think it's that middle addendum. Yeah, Q Clock program. But in there, there are some drops that were actually not caught by any of the aggregators. I mean, I definitely wasn't around when these drops were out. But this is a program you download, you run it, and it lets you. It's a little slow, but it does let you bring up Q Clock and see some of those old drops.
Okay.
You know what's interesting about that? You know what's interesting about that, Mr. Smith? I see the timestamp here. Well, the 125, but the 1339 as above below. Mirror, that's Cult 93. I'm thinking that's total clowns in America. That's CIA action. And of course, the boards were always hit, right? 4chan, 8chan, E-Coon. You always had the clowns sniffing around, the feds, whoever. I mean, deep stuff. So, I mean, this could be a lot of this too. There's a lot of 13s in there. I see a lot of 39s.
Well,
that you got the 5.4, which is a 9 added to a 3. That's Cult 93. I mean, wow. I would say
I did know the original Clockmaster Qagg. So, I mean, whoever uploaded these, I mean, I've actually downloaded this particular set of programs from this particular site because I had to figure out how to do the clock functions on my own site. So I got this program so I could learn it. So I know the program's accurate.
We're taking questions. You got Yoli down there. Would like to ask questions.
But by who? Oh, sorry, Potter. I know you're delayed. But by who? Who do you think it is, Mr. Smith? Good guys, bad guys?
I think it's good guys. I mean, because that site's been there forever. I mean, that site has been out there since probably 2018.
So it's obviously doesn't seem super user friendly. I don't know what we're looking at, and but I get it. And then to add there, maybe talk to him. I went to search QPost for yourself, and it looks like it takes us to the old QAggregator.news. Can you explain why we went from QAgg.news to QAggregator? Just kind of briefly. I'm just kind of curious.
At one point, there was a time when my domain names were being messed with in various places.
Uh-huh.
So I opened up QAggregator.news as well. As an entirely separate path.
Do you know what we called that?
No.
Tell him, Tim. Do you remember?
No, I don't actually.
We called it the Q Alligator. when it was Q Aggregator, we called it the Q Alligator. So we go to Q Alligator. So I guess QAggregator.news is gone. But you have QAgg.news. Do you own some other ones that redirect? Like if I did QAgg.com, or are you just .news?
No, I'm just .news. I also have, for the purposes of Twitter, I have, I have tryandstopus.news.
Is this you here on Twitter? I was going to ask.
Yes, that's me on Twitter.
Okay. So
go
ahead and follow him, guys. QAgg News on Twitter. Give him support our friend here. Let's see his numbers pop up a little bit. Let him see how many people are listening and want to show him some love. Go ahead, buddy.
But yeah, I have tryandstopus.news and nothing can stop what is coming.news. And I realize that's a really long one to type, but I just enjoy the fact that Twitter has to see that domain name every single time.
I totally love it. All of you who are on X right now, go over there and spread the love. Kelly, I saw what you posted on the wall. It's QAnon is not a thing. Well, I'm going to agree to disagree, sister. I mean, this was the journey we're on, right? And I've always said this and it's just my theory. But why would Q come out almost 3 years to the date, October 17th. And of course, Q started on October 28th, 2017. So almost 3 years to the date, right? And come out eventually and say there's only Q, there's Anons, there's no QAnon. But for almost 3 full years, all Anons, OG included, OG Anons, all Anons, digital soldiers, anybody that actually took the time to check out the Q drops, actually followed the hashtag QAnon all around the world and built the movement up. It was a total trap set not only to trap the mainstream media and trap them into this bogus QAnon booga 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 crap that we became the most second most attacked entity and still are. And Trump is the first most, we're the second most. So it took that kind of time to build up the movement. And those who were thinking logically and sensibly and using common sense actually decided for themselves, using their discernment and trusting themselves and their research, actually understood behind the scenes that, yeah, okay, it was called QAnon at that time, but I mean, they were reading the Q drops and they got to where they are today, right? And then we, at the same time, entrapped the total deep state media. So yeah. There was, or there still is QAnon, and it's still being used today. QAnon is still being used.
Well said. Well said. And I want to add even too, to just be aware too that, some people sometimes take a Q post as gospel, and they're challenging us that this is higher intelligence. It literally raises your consciousness as you dig in the Q posts. And I said even more, have the epiphany even too, just like reading these codexes or the Emerald Tablet is, you have to read it with your mind and your heart, and this really kind of even open up more for me. But they do certainly bait us in different ways. So if you just search QAnon, there's a lot of posts, but there's one in particular. It's around Christmas time when we get Santa with the hammer, and they basically baited us back then. So I want to show that, and just how you can find some real deep decodes when you go against the grain and you're not just like, oh, Q said it was this. Like, well, what if that was not real? Or that think mirror, that was the disinformation. The truth is the opposite of that. So let's see, we're getting close to December. It's going to be December of 2018. So give me 1 second. Go ahead on the mic.
Well, Q literally says misinformation is necessary.
Yeah. Even disinformation specifically too.
Well, yeah,
absolutely.
disinformation. So like all these people that go, oh, JFK Jr.'s live. I personally, I don't care if he is or not. If he is, great. I have more important things to do with than JFK Jr. being alive right now. We got bigger shit going on. But if he's not alive, that's one of those posts where it's like, apply your brain. Disinformation is necessary.
Right. I love that one because even people say, oh, if he was dead is different. But even I just bake it down super simple. If he was alive, which he would be a very intricate part of the whole entire plan, what do you think they would answer there if somebody asked that directly? Yeah, he is. He got us. And totally dismantling the credibility of the movement, totally dismantling everything. And they actually used that specifically to show in the future proves past, how the media would keep saying, oh, everybody thinks JFK Jr. is alive, but no, Q specifically had that response for that very specific reason. But I always say, like, what do you think they would say?
As a matter of fact, just 2 nights ago, actually, Vinny played it the other night on his channel, Q the Disclosure, here in the Pup Project. And they were doing the hit piece on that's QAnon, and they're talking about JFK Jr. and all this. So yeah, a total hit piece just came out just recently from the guy that's been hitting on QAnon for so long. I mean, another one that sand, right? Crystal the Pistol, I did unmute you. Crystal had her hand up. Crystal, would you like to come on and say hello? And to our beautiful Patriot owner-operator of QA.news, Mr. Smith is with us. Crystal, how are you?
That's pretty cool. I was going to say a lot of these codes and symbols are they're interchangeable through what's called Adrinka codes. It's the same way that the Tree of Life works, but it's through computer simulation instead. So Adrinka codes are used in you use model view controllers, so you can bring a simulation of something to life. Like when you're looking at this page, right click and inspect, you can see all the code that's written in every place it's written, how it's used. Shows you the styling and everything. So when you're looking at the colors and the codes and everything like that, it's all embedded into the anchored links.
See, that's like that cicada. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, that's cool.
The cicada. Yeah, the cicada. And by the way, Mr. Smith, this is Crystal Pistol, autistic extraordinaire. She's a programmer, coder herself, I would say. And then, but she's also really connected to some deep information, just understanding of, in particular, I love the stuff about the pineal gland and the 33 optic vertebrae. I'm probably butchering it right now, but she's just very impressive. But let me show this real quick. Cicada 331. I don't know how I got to this. It popped up totally randomly, no accidents. This clearly seems to be connected to the Q post prior to, this is 2012, 2014, talking about Snowden time. But that's one thing, is these people, to figure out this information, it was digging deeper and deeper into the images. And there's just basically so much information layered into the images that it would be silly to think that that's not happening on these the Q posts here with all these information. So there's just still so much untapped potential. But let me show real quick here with this QAnon thing. So 12/12 December, and we get Santa with the signature. It looks like QA here, maybe even a colon or an I, perhaps QAI, like QAnon IM. I don't know. And then almost looks like a JR on the hat. Well, no. So you were just mentioning that's kind of funny. Santa with a hammer signed by QA. This Christmas we want justice. Q says confirmed. QA arrow QAnon hammer. Mortifying over time. Happy hunting. Now someone did a decode on this, and then by using that Q post 4881 as a backdrop that says no, actually QA is not QAnon. Where did 4881 go? I thought it was the last post. Did I do something wrong? What did I do? No, sorry guys. Because I went to the second page. Okay, so right here. So the last Q drop, there's 4881. So not till 2020. So that was December. I was just showing December of 2018. So almost 2 years later, now then finally, like Tim was saying, then Q says there is no QAnon. But I just showed you there in that post from way back yonder on 1212. Let me try that new search thing. We can go 12/12, I think, right? Does that work like that? Yeah. 42 drops. I need 2018, so it should be coming up right here. And a lot of drops on that day. Holy cow. Where's the one?
Well, if you don't mind, when you think about it, the Santa Claus part, that's actually like the going down the chimney, the colostrum, and the pineal gland. So what happens when you pull the trigger on a gun? The hammer slaps back and hits, right? Well, that's the same thing that happens when your pineal gland pops. It's a hammer, like pop.
Interesting. I have to think about that one a little more. Thank you. Yeah, that's a cool one too. Especially in the movement, like, this is already a full year in now, but it was still, we were pretty well connected on Twitter. If you weren't somebody that could, navigate the chans, there's quite a community, and then these just different things come out. It's just such a fun time. I think this video was shared on something. Yeah, I think POTUS tweet, R.E. Pepe, trolling the fake news media is so much fun. I think Donald Trump tweeted a video about this baking, this bakery, and she's got a little frog, a little Pepe frog on her thing, and Trump had tweeted that. That's, I think Mr. Smith was mentioning how they're more overt now, and Q even said that verifications or confirmation will be, more overt over time. I'm totally butchering the wording on that, but you know what I mean. Like in the beginning, they were real subtle. From let's just show a little Q proof here, right? We're on the spot in case somebody's new to this. Here's a really cool one to search, especially if you have Trump's tweets up. Let's put Trump's tweets back up. Okay, and I always do deleted usually too, just in case. And let's try.
Mr. Smith, I want you to fact check Kyle as he's going through.
Please do. Yeah, I got to take the 1212 off. So let me get the tweets back up. Okay, I got tweets up now, and I'm going to do plus. Okay, great exercise to do right here. Okay, we got 50,000 some odd tweets from Trump, and then almost 5,000 Q drops. And when we do plus, we only have 18 drops, which, by the way, that's another plus. I mean, everybody knows plus is the House of Sod, but always think double, triple meaning. Who else? So we get an ADMR with a plus. But how about R right there? ADMR, Admiral R, or what else that means. There's 18. But check this out. And this is why it's so cool to have the Twitter thing available right here on Qagg. I mean, you almost don't need to go anywhere else, especially now that, or if he's had that hyperlink thing, which I didn't know about. And I don't know what about the YouTube videos that are gone? Is there any way to get those? I mean, not asking you to do that, but I'm just curious if we could find those. But let me show this proof. Okay. Let me show this proof here. One, he tweeted way back in 2011, of all the 50,000 tweets, he only has being Donald Trump has 2 tweets with plus on. One was deleted, mentioning Barack Obama. Okay, now the next one here. This is the one rare time where when we show all the 0 deltas, it's Q posting and then Trump tweeting. And I talk about this quite a bit. It had to be that way because you could have, I'm sure you could back me up with this, Mr. Smith, a very simple program that could be, trolling Trump's tweet. As soon as he tweets, you have a prearranged drop already ready and be able to drop on the chan within a minute easily right after the tweet. But the fact that Q posts and then Trump tweets shows without a shadow of a doubt, and I'll even show this one too, that we know they're interconnected. And search mathematically impossible, and you will, let's see how many drops are those, 28 drops, quite a few. And let me see if I can find the one. I probably want to be back on that. I don't know.
When you have plus, that's typically an algorithm to add 1. But if you have plus, that would be an algorithm to add 2 if you were thinking about it in the sense of
add 2 what? Okay, 2 different things.
So like when you're finishing an algorithm formula, when you're adding 1 to the formula to go back and repeat the loop, you would just see plus. You wouldn't see 1 plus equals plus. Like you could call it good with a plus, and that would make it equal an extra value. So
okay.
plus is like adding 2 to your value.
Yeah, it's programming shorthand is what it is. So instead of saying variable equals variable plus 2, which is long and wordy, you just do plus 2, or excuse me, plus 1, or whatever the case may be.
Okay, that's a little over my head, but the programmer types out there will understand what you guys are talking about. Thank you. Look at there's the 129. We've talked about that quite a bit with the JFK, but look at this John Durham Came out at 129. I think I forgot that was actually 129. But let me show this one right here. It's great. This is why I brought this up here. Mathematically impossible. So this was back in 2019. I'd love to see a more updated one. Again, that would take some time. Actually, it'd be very easy since Mr. Smith has it in here. You can just see all the zero deltas. But at this time, December of 2019, 36 times. I want to say that too. I mean, this is more just a preference. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's cool that this blows up, but then sometimes I have a little trouble like getting it like moving on the screen again.
I know.
Yeah, it's not that big a deal. And I love that you can always click it and it opens right up. So it's no big deal. So I wouldn't even worry about it, but I was just saying. So 36 times Trump and hashtag QAnon have posted on a zero delta. Let that sink in. Now this Anon put this together right here, 36 posts at zero delta. Now these zero deltas again being Trump tweets and then within 60 seconds. So Q is always first. So within 1 minute is a zero delta, much higher than for any other elapsed time to next tweet. Statistical evidence. Trump is coordinating tweets to when Q posts. And here we see it right here at this time. So even with 50,000 Trump tweets, 5,000 Q posts, yes, there are going to be coincidences that things could overlap. But when you map it here, this is how you verify authenticity beyond a shadow of a doubt with actually mathematical certainty. This is so far above a statistical anomaly that it cannot happen by chance. So at zero delta, we have 36 zero deltas. At 1 minute delta, it's in the 20 range, 2 minute, 20 range, as you see all these. And then over time, it gets lower and lower and lower naturally. But the zero delta is so much significantly higher. It basically proves that they are coordinating. What was that, Crystal?
That looks like a spiral of DNA too, if you map out the dots.
Ooh, okay. And I don't know if you were on here when, if you heard me, if anybody could do this, and again, it's very easy with these functionality of all the stuff, information that Mr. Smith's already laid out here for us on Qagg, is to have I want a scatter plot like this of the deltas on each day. So March 16th would be 0. March 17th would be 17. March 18th is 15. And I want to see a scatter plot of what that looks like over the year. And there's going to be a connection there that we'll find when we do that. And then mathematically impossible.
I got another question. Just sort of it's a bar in here, but Smith with us, QA.news. Mr. Smith, I have to ask you this. I ask a lot of patriots this as we go through the movement. So what are your thoughts on 41020, Q+, TJT, Donald John Trump, brother?
What are my thoughts on Trump? I don't know if I've ever been asked that before. I mean, he's obviously doing a lot. I guess maybe I'm not worried about him just because he's at the point where, we're in the movie where there's actions that they're committed to doing. So like, him getting convicted last week, I knew that was going to happen. I wasn't worried about it. I'm reasonably certain he's going to end up in jail. The way I see it, it's like what he's doing in public has to be seen, for certain people to wake up. Okay. I'm not worried about it. I'm concentrating on what I can do locally. So, what am I doing locally? Well, a couple months ago, I ran to the border, did live border reporting. Now I'm doing anti-trafficking work. I work with a couple of anti-trafficking groups. So, I'm not worried about Trump, but I guess you could say through his inspiration and Flynn's inspiration, I got active locally. That's Flynn's thing is like act local, national impact. Mm-hmm. So what I'm doing now is acting locally.
Yeah, well said. And everyone needs to get involved. Go ahead. Is that Tim? Who's that?
Well, no, I that's why I asked that question, because a lot of people aren't asked that question because they're afraid to ask that question, right? I'm not afraid to ask that question because Q has asked us questions, right? So don't be afraid to ask questions. And that was my point. Yep. And I'm glad that you came on, Mr. Smith, and answered that question so beautifully. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Well, also,
go ahead, Crystal.
Well, I was going to say really quick to be aware of your surroundings, like in your community. So, for example, you could do your own diligence and go look on watchdog.com, and you can see how many predators are in your area, in your community. You can see what their charges are for, and you can see what kind of people are in your neighborhood. And when you do, it'll tell you the address, it'll give you a face. And then you can just become completely aware. That right there is like the starting point. because you'll be surprised at how many times you'll see that surrounding in your own area. It's mind-blowing. But anyways, yeah, I'm sorry I interrupted.
Just chucking back to that about 3 or 4 minutes ago, you had a picture, that watch. See the watch you just flicked past? That's something Pascal's saying, right? He's wearing a 1947 watch. See that? What post is that? What drop is that?
Just hang on a sec, guys. I don't want you guys to get off track here. Just remember. Well, no, we can do Q. Yeah, we do these decodes all the time. We have a very special guest here tonight. And I just want to reiterate that. He said he's going to spend some time with us. I don't know how much time, but if anybody has any questions, anything you'd like to get to know and meet and ask Mr. Smith, the owner operator of Qagg.news, this is our time to do it. Like, when has it ever happened to you when you were on a voice chat here on Telegram where the owner operator of Qagg.news actually came on and spent his time and effort with us? So I want you to focus and concentrate on that Patriots, please, and let's just keep it directed.
I saw the pissed off Patriot had his hand up, so I just opened his mic. The pissed off Patriot.
Yeah, how you going? It's an honor to speak to you. I was just wondering, have you looked at any of the executive orders and other things for codes? Because I have. And it's funny that you said 47 on the watch just then, because one of the codes that I broke down was taking 48 from 911, because 911 is a number I've seen a lot for years. And negative 48, there was a guy called Negative 48 sharing really out there stuff, like really good stuff on Telegram, and that Negative 48.
Hang on. Tim 17 here. Nice to see you, brother. Thank you for joining us. Do you have any questions or anything you'd like to say to Mr. Smith tonight, the owner operator of Qagg?
I'll make it very quick. By taking 48 from the 911, I got 47 as a result in the end. But when I kept doing it, I got minus 2017. The executive order.
Sorry, Mr. Australian, pissed off. Listen, you can take it out with me if you want. Listen, I'm going to say this one more time. We have a very special guest here tonight. Let's pay some respect and let's be honorable here as patriots, as Anons, digital soldiers, truth warriors. Does anybody have any questions or anything they'd like to ask Mr. Smith tonight? Well, he's still here.
Hey, this is Sevens. I didn't chime in yet, but I probably have like 20 different things collected. But hey, nice to see you on here, John, and first time seeing this in depth, so this is enlightening. I did find a bug already, so I DM'd you that. But also, I was wondering, I think what Pissed Off Australian was trying to get at is maybe is there a way to maybe search for specific executive orders and maybe put a filter for executive orders, and then he found a decode with math of how to calculate some of those. So I think that's what he was bringing up maybe. But one of my questions specifically is there's different calendars, and maybe those are on your wish list to add, but like the Enochian calendar, the lunar calendar, the Ethiopian calendar, I didn't notice those on the website, but those might be.
I had not. I'd forgotten about the lunar calendar. I'll see how hard that is to add, and the others. I mean, sometimes they're easy, sometimes they're not, and usually if they're not, I probably won't waste the time just because they're a pain in the neck. But the lunar, I could see the lunar not being terrible to add.
Oh, cool.
You have the other ones though, right? Or where are those at? Or no?
Well, they're in the drop down there in front of you
where it says Gregorian calendar.
Oh, okay, right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I've got the Julian. I've got the Hebrew. I forgot what the other two. Oh, for whatever reason, I threw in the French Revolutionary. All right.
You never know. You never know. So, Go ahead. Well, I just want to add too, if maybe you didn't know this, because these are some of the things that Tim and I have found over time of searching. Q plus drops, guys, 45. If you didn't know that. And then what about executive orders? Do you have anything with that? And if not, I have a nice thing for people to find too. But anything to add on executive orders yourself?
I do
Okay.
not. You know what? I hadn't considered that, but I know where they
Yeah.
are on the website. Wouldn't be hard to grab them.
Which
and
website are you referencing?
Figure out a way.
You said the website. What website?
Federal Register.
Okay. I also would recommend this one right here, guys. If you see the little icon, I can't zoom on this. It's called the Trump Tracker app. It's a little like a map looking thing. It's got the blue behind them with the red. You go to the Trump Tracker app and it has everything here. If anybody knows who created this, if they could make a search function, and then also same thing, AI, it has all of his rallies, like Trump rallies. I can go to any Trump rally. It's all right here. Again, same thing with AI. If we could have AI go through these and get a transcript of all this and then make it searchable would be really powerful. And then, but right here, we can go to, you can either do executive orders right here versus reversals. I go to presidential archives and right here, boom, executive orders. And yeah, very important to read they tell us, right? Follow the pen, track the executive orders. It's all right in here. So, depending on what you would want to add, I think there's just really easy ways to find executive orders. You have so much stuff already on your website, or maybe just put a link to that. If somebody, I think it's on the iPhone. I don't know if Trump Tracker is on Android for sure. So that is the one downfall. And I think you can actually just go there web-based too, just for you guys out there. Again, I'm not the best guy to explain all that, but yeah. So anything, keep going, brother.
Well, yeah, that's like a landing page for other kind of affiliate, maybe not directly what you support, but what the community supports. And then you could have like a hit list of, okay, these are the top, tools that are used for this month, or something like that to sort of promote maybe those other tools that would really combine with yours, like what he just showed with the executive orders. You don't have that on your site yet, but that's already been done by that other site. So a lot of people don't know about that maybe. So that's an idea to maybe add. My other question, this is more of sort of a coding topic, but there are different ciphers and gematria, and I don't know if there's like calculators there that can be embedded. But one example is a Caesar cipher, which is like a shift of the alphabet.
I'm very familiar with the Caesar cipher.
So there are examples of the Caesar cipher where it's like from O to Q that's referenced. So you could say, from 15 to 17, that's a 2 shift. And so that would be like a Caesar cipher of 2. So do you have a filter ability maybe on your website where you can shift all the Q post letters by 2 or by 7? So it's not just shifting by dates or deltas, but it's also shifting the letters. And that might actually spell out other encoded messages that a lot of people don't look at, because we're all looking at it in plain English, not using cipher shifts though.
I'll see if there's an easy way to add that. Because I mean, all those ciphers are actually they're fairly straightforward in terms of math or mathematical capabilities, or the way it works mathematically. So it's not that hard to do. It's just a matter of how would I think about incorporating that.
Yeah, and the other one I was going to say is sometimes I think the dates and deltas, if the cipher is hinted, like if there's a letter missing and you're like, oh, maybe I shift by the amount of letters missing, or A equals 1, or okay, Q plus 10 is 17 plus 20, or 10 is 27. So that means Q becomes A. Because it's the 27th letter of the alphabet, which just resets to A. So that's an example of how Q becomes. But in that example, with the deltas, you could actually use Caesar ciphers too, where like July becomes November, or November 4th becomes July 4th, or, vice versa, November 11th becomes
my own thoughts.
Months,
My own thoughts, just to jump in on that. That sounds kind of complicated. Obviously, the more you dig into stuff, you can find things. But what are your intentions on trying to have that?
Well, you could basically see calendar shifts. So if you get a little hint in the decode that, oh, I should shift the months by 3 or 4, and you do that, then all of a sudden you'll start noticing a pattern of, oh, maybe July, Christmas in July is not really December or November. It's really in July that you should be looking. And that's a shift of 4 from 11 to the 7th month, instead of the
So is
11th.
that 777? Is that a question to Mr. Smith tonight, or is that something?
Yeah, I mean, that's another
Yeah.
example of a filter that could be incorporated is, an offset of months to the deltas. So if you're looking at ciphers, you can also incorporate that, not just for the content of the posts in the letters, the English alphabet there, but also in the dates too.
Yeah, that's a possibility. I'll think
And then-
about how that would be done.
I know another one, and this is from another poster, but for the decodes of some of the dates, daylight savings time, they found a pattern where like 900 and something versus 800 and something, the time difference of like 100 posts, that would represent a time zone difference of like Eastern time versus Central or Mountain time or GMT -1. So that could be also maybe a pattern that could be incorporated to the filters too, is how to, group together daylight savings by 100th, spacing of the posts. Like people don't look at it in that way usually, but there was patterns that someone had found about that.
All right. I used to have many years ago a DST adjust function. Not quite the same as what you want, but I'll look and see how difficult that is.
But
I might already have a code for it.
I typed some of these notes up because I think a lot of us in here over the next couple months or whatever will probably have a lot more ideas, and we're all sort of like, oh, cool, we got this, and I love thinking of new ideas, and how do we, I guess, contact you elsewhere? What's the best method to actually maybe help contribute more feedback?
If you want me to notice, reach out to me on X.
Cool. Okay.
I put
Go
the
ahead,
link
and
on
guys, follow him if you haven't already. Right here, at Qagg News. Okay, right here on Twitter.
I put the link on.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. Go ahead and pin that admin's pin to you guys.
Thank you, Kyle. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Listen, hang on. I unmuted Dom. Dom had his hand up for a while. Dom Lynch, brother Dom. Love, love, love. How you doing, brother? You got a question for Mr. Smith? Anything you'd like to say? Any love, love, love coming your way?
Hey, what's
Tim,
up?
I'm
What's
going to
up,
leave the screen
everybody?
on. I'm going to step away for 30 seconds, guys. You guys keep going.
Go ahead, Dom. Go ahead, Dom.
All right. Okay. Hey, what's up? What's up, everybody? Hopefully you can hear me. I'm trying to keep it low. My wife is asleep, but knowing that everything has meaning, I was just thinking while y'all was talking. He was talking about like you can pull up transcripts and things from like rallies or whatever. And I attended a few rallies here in Michigan, and it just popped in my head like sitting there waiting, like multiple times I heard like the Undertaker music being played. Like, is there any Q post or anything reference to the Undertaker with Trump or anything like that? And does this refer to like some Nuremberg treason type of shit or something like that? And it's 111.
What do you think about that, Mr. Smith?
I'm not aware of any Undertaker references. Although that's not to say he couldn't be right. Q couldn't reference him in some other way. I mean, sometimes his language is cloudy intentionally. So, I mean, at least as a direct term, I'm not aware of Undertaker. But I mean, this actually ties in something that kind of like irritates us, our archivists personally, because it's like, oh, there's like, we should have been recording that. We should have been recording that. We should have been recording that, or taking that down. It's like none of us ever thought we'd all be stripped off of YouTube. So we didn't bother grabbing the majority of the videos when they came out. So now we're stuck. I mean, things like that. Otherwise, I could answer this gentleman's question more easily.
Sorry, is that something we can help with? Like, do you want us to start digging, and is that helpful or not?
I mean, if you could somehow locate some of these videos from the YouTube videos, he's linked to a lot, and some are still there. But I think it's probably like around 30 or 40% are gone. If you could find a way to source some of those, that would be huge, because then I could archive them on my site. Then we'd have permanent links to them.
Because a lot of people were told to archive everything, and I've got data, and I'm sure lots of others have.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's unfortunately one of the things I didn't archive. But yeah, I mean, if people have some of those YouTube videos, I'll happily take them off your hands, because I can, like I said, I can archive them as part of the site.
YouTube.
How do you know the
I
timeline
can
of
add that.
events so well?
Say it again.
Sorry.
I was just wondering, how do you know the timeline and events so well? They're so accurate.
How do I know the timeline of events?
Yeah, like it's just so accurate, like all these things that are taking place.
To be honest, I don't know. I mean, since my divorce, my life has been absolutely crazy, and I could say it's probably riddled with more Q proofs than I could imagine. So I don't know. I mean, I seriously know. It's like I mean, I literally got a tattoo this week. That is what Boone Cutler has on his arm. It says, "Send me Isaiah 6:8." And I did that on Tuesday night at like midnight. So whatever that means, and Boone Cutler says, "Let's fucking go" the next day with my arm on his tweet. So I don't know.
Nice.
At least if I had an answer, I'd tell you, but I seriously don't know. I'm flying by the seat of my pants here.
Aren't we all? At least you got riddled with Q posts in the divorce, and not riddled with something else you don't want.
Yes.
Oh man, you gotta have fun. You gotta have fun with this stuff.
Yeah. So, Mr. Smith, back in the beginning, back in 2018, before you started your journey on providing this beautiful, beautiful, amazing tool that we're all using worldwide, what did you go through back then? I mean, obviously you were watching, listening, learning other OG add-ons, but what made you make that transition into saying, okay, you know what, I'm going to put all these fucking key drops onto a channel or onto a network or whatever and build this? Like, what made you decide that?
I guess critical mass, because more people were doing decodes, and the more people were doing, I mean, the way my head works is, okay, the more people doing decodes, so it's like if one person takes an hour to, let's say, do 10 timestamp comparisons, okay, well, then if it goes up to 10 people, well, now that's 10 times 10, and so on and so forth. I look at the exponentiality of it, and it's like, well, the longer I wait, the more people are going to be wasting time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to start at some point.
Yeah, efficiency, man. That's really cool.
It is, yeah. And I got another question too, because I'm getting ready to head to bed, so I got to pump up my questions. So, how many deep state attacks have you had since then?
Well, before I went offline, I had, I don't know, I'd see probably a good 50, 80 a day. And it was always coming in the form of trying to find a way to hack my site. There were a couple of denial of services in there, not many. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, a couple thousand. I mean, they managed to get one file from me once, and it's not even a file I use, and they thought they had a victory. I'm like, okay, have fun. But yeah, I mean, it's undergone a lot of attacks. Oddly, since I came back, I've not seen one.
Right on. Okay, cool. So on your journey doing this, because I mean, you are so elevated. I mean, no one is above the other. We're all in it together. I get that. I understand that. But you've done something like totally extraordinary by providing all these Q drops on a third-party aggregate. But so you've been attacked. Do you feel somewhere along the way that, like, maybe you got some signs? I know you talked about it earlier. You alluded to it earlier, but do you feel like you're getting helped a little bit, but from behind the scenes, a little bit?
Mm-hmm. At times there have been, yes. There was one time, and I can talk about it now because it's immaterial, I think. So do you remember back when the PDF dropped, the Comey versus Corny, that one?
Mm-hmm.
Like before that dropped, before we knew the misspelling thing, I just, for whatever reason, I happened to look at my search logs, because I keep search logs just to make sure things are working correctly. And I noticed in there that bots from Google were asking questions. I'm like, when I compared it, then the drop came out, and I went back and I'm like, well, wait a minute. Google was asking about these like a week before the Comey Corny thing came out. And I published that information, and like I would say within, I don't know, I think it was an hour, Q posted something, and I don't remember which drop it was. I probably should have recorded it. But the way I interpreted that drop is he was yelling at me to take my post down. I'm like, all right, fine. And I deleted it. Now, whether that was actually true or not, I don't know. But I just felt like, okay, maybe I made an oopsie and never did it again.
Or maybe you were over the target, because Kyle's showing those drops right now on the screen. And that's when they spelled intentionally, they put the R and the N together instead of the Comey, the M. So the R and the N in writing, if you're not paying attention, not looking closely, and if you're doing any kind of research, like let's say you type in Comey, it won't come up on a search. But if you typed in Corney, you would get all of the information.
Yep, exactly.
With some fonts, Tim, you literally can't even tell the difference. Like in this, you can zoom and you can see it. On some fonts, it's indiscernible even. And that's the doc, and they put that in the font they used in the document. You cannot even tell.
Yep.
So, and I don't really understand this. Maybe you can help with the coding and the data trolling or whatever is. Why would they do this? Is this so that the Comey doesn't come up in a search on these documents? I don't really understand the meaning. Okay.
Yes, because especially when you encode a PDF, the behind the scenes structure of a PDF is not as straightforward as like even a Word document. A Word document you can actually read pretty easily. The PDF encodes all kinds of stuff because of graphics and all this other garbage. So it's a heavily structured document. And it's not purely text. There are binary characters in there, so you can't always see everything. So, I mean, that's done because it's harder to read a PDF with the naked eye than it is to look at a PDF in a PDF viewer. And if you want to search, it's more often easier to search using a PDF viewer than it is to try and go to the actual document and find something. So that's probably why they did that, just to completely obfuscate, knowing next to nobody's going to look.
Well, they fucking knew that, right? They obviously knew that. I mean, that's deep state tactics right there. That's your intelligence community working against you, right? That's
absolutely.
Perfect.
Yeah. I'm getting pretty tired here too, Tim. I may want to throw any other questions out, and maybe we'll end this here a little bit. Maybe we can have you back though, Mr. Smith. And thank you so much for your time, man. This is really, really fun for sure.
Always have to come back. One of the reasons I do these is just the sharing of knowledge. Okay. I want to lift people up, and if I can show people different ways to think at, look at, slice and dice things, I'm happy to do it.
Bye, brother. Yeah, I was just going to say, Kyle, if you're tired, you want to sleepy, go ahead. We're going to keep this guy up all night, man. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Okay.
Go to bed, brother. That's
sure.
fine by me. But no,
yeah, maybe I could be listening to or something. But yeah, I'm getting a little we're out. Let me finish this one real quick. I wanted to show because we were talking about the zero deltas where Q posts first and then always Trump tweet. This would be one of the rare instances where it's the backwards. And again, of 50,000 plus Donald Trump tweets, there's only 2 of them that have plus in it. So that's just for context and comparison. Again, we get a deleted one about Obama. Very interesting. His very first one, 2011, with a 5.5 in there. This one here is on 11/6, which is a 17 on 2017, or 9/11 mirrored if you look at it the other way. My visit to Japan and friendship with Prime Minister Abe will yield many benefits for our great country. Massive military and energy orders happening, plus. Okay, that was at 16:15:32 Eastern Standard Time, always the time zone. I was going to ask something about the daylight saving time because we've had some weird stuff on Q School where the hour thing would almost change. There was some weird stuff with it. I don't think I have the brain capacity to even ask that question and find out about it, but I just want to at least put that out there to try to remember for another time. Anyway, so 11:06, 6:15, less than an hour later, 17:07:57. Although it's interesting with the 777 in here, especially with even the 70, because Donald Trump on Inauguration Day was 70 years, 7 months, and 7 days old. So there's confirmation here. We're connected. Nothing is random. Everything has meaning. Plus, plus, plus Q, and that's 1, 2, 3. So that was the one time there where Trump would be first, and then the plus, plus, or excuse me, the Q post after, showing a correlation. After that, the 0 delta was probably around.
Anytime you brought up that Q drop over the Q School days, everything has meaning. That's when you pay attention, folks. I mean, that's when you dig and dive into everything. And again, I just want to say to Mr. Smith, I mean, with the Qagg, we use that, I would say, probably 95% of all of our shows. And then when you went down, you explained the story earlier in the show. We had to revert. We had to go to other aggregates, and we went to Q Alerts. We used Q Post out online. Q Post out online was cool.
I didn't want to.
Yeah,
I didn't want to. I'm like, man, we gotta use Q Alerts.
Yeah,
That's why the search thing wasn't right, but
Yeah. You know what? I just want Mr. Smith to know that we did fight it. It's like we were pissed off. It's like, oh man, where's Qagg? Like we missed Qagg, and we had to retrain our brain a little bit. We had to adapt. We had to do some different things, and you can see that if you guys watch and follow our Q schools. Back in the days, I mean, hundreds of them. I mean, we did it was 7 days a week we were doing them. We always used Qagg.news, and it was such a beautiful, beautiful time to go through it all. We had so many patriots around the world coming on and joining us and reading them together. That was the thing that I love the most. I still love it. Rereading those Q drops. Always reread them. Keep reading them. And what I love about your site, Mr. Smith, is the colors, the easiness of just on the simple, for people that are just learning about Q, there is the simple ways to get into the Q drops, find the today's deltas, tomorrow's deltas, yesterday's deltas. And I know there's so many beautiful features, and even Kyle and I are learning right now, just talking to you, and we're going to keep expanding. And that's what we're going to do. But we have to start one step at a time, baby steps. Most people are just coming into the Q information new to this. So I just want to say how much I love and appreciate everything you've done, Mr. Smith.
Well, it's funny you mentioned the colors, because the reason I think my site looks hideous, but it's designed for people who are colorblind, because I'm colorblind.
I have a question. So I was asking Tim in the background there, seeing how it's after midnight here, and I don't know if you did this already, because I've been kind of scrolling around doing this and that, checking the page and scrolling the chat and all that other stuff. Appreciate you coming here once again. But while you're there, Kyle, I was wondering, seeing how it's after midnight here, if you could give us the delta for today.
Okay. So we haven't showed this here too. So again, 0 deltas would be Trump and Scavino with the 0 minutes. This one is deltas of the day. So I'm going to do tomorrow's. I'm on West Coast time, so I'll do tomorrow's, which would be I guess tomorrow's the 6th, right? So we'll get all the drops from, and then this is cool when you click that. This shows how you're supposed to search the date. But of course, Mr. Smith's already shared with us. He's updated it that you can actually just put 06 right into the search. I would add then too, if you could add, not to put more things on your plate, can you also do that with the time? Could you do something like that where we do
it's already in there.
It's already in there too? Okay, cool. Let me just try that real quick. And then now if I do 1432 like that, it would give me, if there are, the hour, minute, but also minute, second with that, correct? Any combination of that? Okay, that's really cool. That's in there.
That I have as well.
And there you go. Look at that. Look at them all pop up. Wow, that's really powerful to me too. I know those one people, I don't know if they still do them. They used to make those memes, kind of the decodes, and there clearly was some sort of connection with those. So it's just another easier way to search. So that's neat.
Hang on. Read that one on the left. Read it on the left.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, this is us right here. Huh, Tim, you want to do this one?
Oh, I would love to. Stay together. Stay together. Be strong. Get organized. Be heard. Fight the censorship. You, the people, have all the power. You simply forgot how to play. Together, you are invincible. They want you divided. They want you silenced. Make noise. We are with you. Make it rain. Let's go.
Boom.
Okay, back to the Delta. Back to the Delta for Brother Jim.
Oh, yeah.
Delta.
Okay, here's Deltas. Go ahead, Crystal.
If you guys wanted to do those notification badges, you can look at Bootstrap cheat sheets and it'll give you the code for it.
I don't know what any of that means. Does people know what you're talking about?
Somebody had said something about like alerts or something like that.
Oh, okay.
There's like when you update something, you can say like you can put how many, like a circle of how many updates or something like that.
Okay.
It gives you code for that.
Okay. And now, so
you know what I want, Brother Jim. Jim asked for the Deltas. I want Jim to read Q drop 4429. Kyle, if you could bring it up loud and proud.
Oh, yeah. Good one. I want to ask though real quick, because this is something I'm seeing. It looks like you have all the archives for the Twitter, but there's also like a lot of articles that would be linked that now the site is gone. And I know that Q Post Online had all of those. So like this, whatever this PDF is, I'm sure that's still there. Let's just see what it looks like. But if for some reason this was gone.
I was hoping you could have read that one there on the left.
Yeah, we're going to. I'm showing him. You're going to read this one. I'm just showing him before I forget how my mind works. I got to say it so I don't lose it. For Mr. Smith there. Yes.
Kyle, the handler. Kyle needs a handler.
I'll see what I can source for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah, and that's if you could get a hold of that QPost.online guy. Because that's a good just proof in itself. If anybody's new to Q, you go to a lot of these links, and Breitbart will still probably be up there, but whether it's all kinds of stuff, and they're gone. They got taken down because once Q exposed it, all the eyes were on it, and they had to remove them. So there are a lot of dead links from the Q post because of that. But again, we were told to archive everything, and the Anons have done that. And then as a great example, what we're doing tonight here and sharing your information, and this person has this person has that. That's why it's important that we stay organized, right? Just like Tim read, stay strong, be strong, get organized, be heard. Okay, this is literally our mission. Our mission is to do that, and we're doing it now. We're doing the thing, but we also got to just keep working towards it, and maybe have more small groups branch off and have little get-togethers, little meetings of, hey, how can we do this? And then if something that you can't have, let's start crowdsourcing. Like let's share a little video, put yourself out there. Say, hey, we're working on this. We need a little help with this. Anybody out there that has that expertise? Really powerful stuff's going to start happening, and that's a major mission of mine. And I will be stepping forward to help assemble that. But anybody else who wants to start that process, how about it? Okay, Jimbo, you ready to read 4429?
Let's go, Jim. Come on, you can do this.
Okay. The armor of God. Finally, be strong in the Lord and his mighty power. Put on the full armor of God so that you can take your stand against the devil's schemes. For our struggle is not against the flesh and the blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers in the dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. Therefore, put on the full armor of God, so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground. And after all you have done everything to stand firm then, with the belt of the truth buckled around your waist, with the breastplate of righteousness in place, and with your feet fitted with readiness that comes from the gospel of peace. In addition to all this, take up the shield of faith, in which you can extinguish all the flaming arrows of the evil one. 17, take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, and pray in the Spirit on all occasions with kinds of prayers and requests. With this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all Lord's people. Have faith in humanity. Have faith in yourself. Have faith in God, the Great Awakening. Amen. Boy, I've been talking about there, Tim.
You gotta say Q. You gotta say
right?
Q. Official. Say Q.
Thank
Say Q.
you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Scroll
you.
up a little ways. Kyle, scroll up. I've never seen this before. 17. Where did
I know,
that
right? Yeah.
Where did that come from?
Is there a way
I think
somebody can send me that?
that's the passages, I think, Tim, but it's interesting that there isn't like 15 or 16 in here. And then, so like, that's how they would be ordered, right? Remember when we were reading Daniel's 8, 9 or whatever, and then that came up. So that, you know, we have some of that. Think of that 2 verse 28, right? It's kind of like that.
I've read this over the years with you, Kyle. I don't know how many times, 1,700 times. And
Right?
that's
Never
the first
seen
time
that.
I caught the 17 right
I thought
there.
the same thing. I thought the same thing, brother. That one really stood out to me. That
hang on a sec. Mr. Smith, did you just happen to throw in that 17 in the Q drops there? Like on Saturday? Like,
No, I did not.
That
No, I
is-
did not.
That's interesting.
I'm looking here, Tim. I'm looking here. We get 4207, the armor of God. I think that's mostly similar. No 17 in there. And here's that. This is one we did, 4429. There it is, the armor of God. And for some reason, the 17's in here. It's not on this one.
It's on today's Delta, guys. We're talking. Oh man, are you fucking kidding me? We're talking to the owner operator of Qagg News and Jim Davidson, Minister Jim, which does our Sunday shows. We're building our own house of worship, and he reads this Q drop, and then all of a sudden that 17 shows up. And how many times is this Q drop posted? How many times we got here?
There's slight variations. I typed in righteousness. So with righteousness, we get 11 drops, and just scanning them. Again, this one's mostly similar. Let's see. Put on the full armor. Boom, boom, boom. Stand firm. Extinguish the arrows. Where's the arrows? Extinguish the flaming arrows. Evil one. Boom. No 17 in there. Take the helmet of salvation. This one has the 17. And same thing, Tim. I don't know. It stood out to me like a friggin'
guys. It's the only one that's got the 17 in it.
It is. Look at. I'm sure. Here's the other ones. Look at. Take the helmet. There's no 17. Take the helmet. No 17. Take the
What
helmet.
number is it? He
I
said it's
love it. I
44.
love it.
He said it's 4429.
Yeah.
All right. So 2 and 9 is 11. So now you got 4411. The 4 plus 1 is 5, and the other 4 and 1 is another 5. 5.
45. Boom. I like that. By the way, too, today's date, 6/6, the 24 is another 6. So 666, think mirror. We're going to, defeat the evil. And I mean, 666 is really just human, carbon-based, right? 6 protons, neutrons, electrons. But we're taking all those power back, all the numbers back. We got the 5. We got them all. We got the 17. It is special time, man. We have all the power.
That's amazing. Okay, so I guess what we're going to
666 is 18. 1 and 8 is 9. Flip the 6 is upright, and you got 9. So now you got 3 9s. 3 times 9 is 27. 2 and 7 is a 9 again.
She has her hand up, and I'm going to unmute her.
Which is good.
6-9.
That's good versus evil, guys. I mean, that's the Cult 93 I've talked about for a long time. I mean, the 27's 9 times 3, 9 and 3s. Watch for the 9 and 3s, the 3 and the 9s. It's good versus evil, man. We're taking back the numbers, and we're defeating evil. Good versus evil. That's why we're here. Go ahead.
Today,
27.
666 p.m. Today is 6 months, 6 day, year of 24/6. Today, happy 666, everybody.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was talking about. Thank you.
Linda had a question. If we could let her go ahead.
Oh, no, I didn't. I just wanted to be unmuted in case I wanted to speak at some point. Hey, everybody.
Welcome, Linda.
Welcome, Linda. Okay, well, listen, we're getting close to the 3-hour mark here. Let me check. Oh, no, we're way over 3 hours. We're 3.5 hours. Has anybody got any last questions, comments, anything they'd love to say to our brother, our patriot? Mr. Smith, the owner-operator of Qagg.news. I got a closing video to wrap it up, but if this is your chance to say how much you love and appreciate him or any question you have for him, now's the time. Let's go.
He's already splattered on the wall, Tim.
These hands that nobody's raising their hands, so I'd probably say go ahead and thank you, Mr. Smith.
You're very welcome. Yeah, Mr. Smith, John, I'm going to call you John for now. We'll get to know each other better. I just want to say how much I love and appreciate everything that you've done for us and continue to do. We will work with you. Stay in touch with us, please. We have 14 beautiful channels in the Patriot Unification Project right now. We're just one of the 14. Kellyanne, beautiful patriot, beautiful sister, who's working at the ground level, the ground force that we've talked about here earlier tonight. Just like the Q drops, it has to start somewhere. Start at the basic level. Start learning and understanding what the information's all about. And then moving forward, and you've done a beautiful, miraculous job displaying the information that the people around the world need to see. They need to see it for themselves. And I just want to say, on behalf of all of us here at the Patriot Unification Project, all of our channels, and not even just our channels, but even outside of that, because we know family and friends and people on Telegram, and we're just talking about Telegram. I know you just joined Telegram today, and I thank you for that. But we have a good outreach, and we all love and appreciate everything you're doing. And if there's anything we can do at any time to help you out, just please reach out to us, my friend. Is there any closing words, remarks, or anything you'd like to share with us before we end up the recording tonight?
Just stay in prayer, stay with God, and onward and upward.
Commander, I'd like to thank you as well. You did a fine job. Awesome teamwork. And I wanted to just acknowledge you as well, sir.
Thank you, guys. Love you, man. We love what we do, and I appreciate it. And I've learned myself to navigate all this, and again, just open up even more just by having John here. And I would really like if you guys could help coordinate. I don't know if Zena's in here. I would love to have a little Qagg teaching school. Something could be small, 5-10 minutes. Something we could put on even TikTok type of stuff for other people out there to start navigating and reading the Q posts on their own.
Yeah, 5-5 Kyle, thank you very much. And from the bottom of our hearts to all of us, to you, Mr. Smith, love. Thank you for all you do.
Love.
Walks merrily down the street with the brim pulled way down low. Ain't no sound but the sound of his feet. Machine guns ready to go. Are you ready? Hey, are you ready for this? Are you hanging on the edge of your seat? Out of the doorway, the bullets rip to the sound of the beat. Yeah. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. How do you think I'm gonna get along without you when you're gone? You took me for everything that I had and kicked me out of my own. Are you happy? Are you satisfied? How long can you stand the heat? Out of the doorway, the bullets race to the sound of the beat. Look out! Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone. And another one gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey, I'm gonna get you too. Another one bites the dust. Hey! Oh, take it! Another one bites the dust. Ow! Another one bites the dust. Hey, hey! Another one bites the dust. Plenty of ways that you can hurt a man and bring him to the ground. You can beat him, you can cheat him, you can treat him bad, you leave him when he's down. But I'm ready, yes, I'm ready for you. I'm standing on my own two feet. I'm a door with bullets ripped, repeating the time and face. Oh, yeah. Another one bites the dust. Another one bites the dust. And another one gone, and another one gone, another one bites the dust. Yeah. Hey, I'm gonna get them too. Another one bites the dust. Shoot up. All right.
Oh yeah, thank you everybody. Thanks for watching, Mr. Smith, Qagg creator. We love y'all. And I got one more little closing for y'all watching us live. Love, love, love. Going over to 8 Anon.
Onto my yacht. Don't
Oh shit! I'm blowing it. Here we go. 8 Anon 55. Let's go.
come out of the storm. Onto my yacht. Don't need be afraid of the dark. United we stand, divided we fall. Where we go, one we go all. We dream of the day men are set free. Although at times it's hard to believe. With pounding drums, sail through the storm. Where we go, one we go all. So speak of the days, ages to come. We drove the beast into the sun. God by our side, answer the call. Where we go, one we go all. Onto my ark, don't need be afraid of the dark. United we stand, divided we fall. Where we go, one we go all.
Oh yeah, thanks everybody. Love, love, love. That was originally recorded, Mr. Smith, June 5th, 2024. We replayed it February 3rd. Thanks for all hanging out. We'll be back. Love you.